live from the Streamline Mortgage Solutions studio. It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello, this is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Show number 518.
Hey there, everybody.
What's going on?
Happy Friday free show. Show number 518 of A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
No Samantha today. It is her birthday. Happy birthday, Samantha. Make some noise for
birthday.
her. We love her so much. She's probably on Disney property somewhere.
Yeah. I have a couple things about Samantha's birthday because it's her party tonight.
Yeah. Don't
And-
say where. Oh, Butler's here.
Yeah,
He's taking. He's sitting in Sam's chair. How's it feel to be sitting over there, buddy?
Ooh, feels good. He's already farting it up.
Yeah, he said it really creepy too.
Yeah.
Feels good.
You gotta be creepy, even though she's there. Yeah. Seth Petrocelli's coming in to do a guest spot on the news.
We have plenty of guests, plenty of listeners that have stopped by to sit in on the show today.
Yeah, some bought houses from Bart Merrick's team.
Yep.
Some donated to Yellow Brick Road.
We don't know which ones are which.
No, I don't.
I don't care to ask.
So, before we start, I want to give a shout out to Emerald Plumbing. We've been advertising for Emerald Plumbing for a while. They've been on Tom and Dan hookups, and I've used them 5 different times, and great every single time.
I used them this week because my daughter's toilet was continuously running, and we were using an old chopstick to keep the true story.
flap up?
Yeah, keep the float bulb up. You know, the ball. And it was all rusted crazy, and I could have replaced it, but I have no time.
Yeah,
So it's just easier to call Emerald and have them do it in all of maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, my garbage disposal was electrocuting my family.
Yeah, that's bad.
It electrocuted the nanny a bunch of times,
Oh, yeah,
but I
that's
didn't
why she
fix it. She kept saying, I was like, yeah, I didn't believe it.
I don't know what that means.
I didn't believe it.
The idea that I think that your nanny is so bad with the English language that she'd call it the garbagerito, El Zappy Zappy, that's sort of racist.
Yeah, then my wife was telling me it was electrocuting her. I
Yeah.
didn't believe it. I was like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, I'd use it. Then when it shocked me, that's
what
when I
part
called
is
it
shocking you? The switch was shocking you?
Yeah, if you held the switch and touched your
Penis.
You touched
No!
yourself. Because I got a farm sink and it's metal, right?
Yeah.
So
What's
the
a
front of it-
farm sink?
It's the front of it is all metal. It's
Farms
like
are kind of shitty, so why would anybody want a farm sink?
It's some
You know what I
decorative
want?
shit.
I want a fucking spaceship sink.
yeah.
Farm sink? Fuck that shit.
I know. It's some
It's like a style.
It's style,
Yeah.
and my wife wanted anyway. So if you touch that, and because the garbage disposal switch was over the toaster, so if you touch the sink and and you had your forearm on the toaster, then touch the switch electrocution.
Oh my god!
And it zapped me one time. I was like, "Yo!" And I was like, "Holy shit!" I actually grabbed my heart. I was like, "That shocked me enough for you felt. I don't know if the adrenaline or whatever." I was like, "Oh!" Like it knocked my
Sometimes
heart
that
off.
happens at night. I'll be laying in bed and I'm like, my heart just stopped,
and
and I can feel it.
It's
And I'm like,
too
come
high.
on, baby. Oh, there you go. It's back around. All right, we're good.
Yeah,
We're good.
yeah.
Come on, baby.
Anyway, so then I called it finally stopped working, and then Emerald Plumbing
Yeah.
replaced it in 15 minutes.
They replaced mine the same week. Remember,
Yeah.
we got the same model.
So they're good. Use them.
Yeah,
and
they're terrific.
They're on the hookups page. Use the discount they give you. So back to Samantha's birthday. Happy birthday to
Happy
Samantha.
birthday, Sam.
Now she is first. Okay, a
You are
couple
the
things.
worst.
I forgot. Like when I first got the invite a while ago.
Yeah. Because she's a planner. She's a bit of a planner.
Let me be honest. I didn't get it. My wife got it. I'm sure she sent it to me too, but I don't look at my Facebook invites. There's too many. I get these people invite me to too many things. Yeah,
you know, like baby showers, get-togethers.
I never check it. You know, it's always the bubble with hundreds of things.
Yeah,
on it.
I'm doing a lot better. Just like I'll promote my stuff and then. I'm getting better at just leaving it alone because it's a fucking hellhole.
So anyway, my wife told me, she's like, Samantha's having a birthday party coming up. It's a Great Gatsby themed party, and
well, because I believe her, and I don't think she's shying away from this, but the party has to do with the age that the Great Gatsby passed away at, which was 33.
Oh, really? Oh, that's what
I believe that's what it is.
Correct. So anyway, back a month ago, I was like, oh, yeah, we need to go to that because she always gives me shit about missing her wedding, never going to anything she does.
Oh, yeah, so the reason you're not going to celebrate her birthday, you're just going so you don't get shit.
No. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm like, I have to do this.
So you feel obligated to do it because you've been so bad in the past.
Yeah. I'm a horrible friend.
Okay.
And,
all right.
And then...
At least you're honest.
So... time goes by, I totally forget, and then it turns out it's today. And then I realized
you almost fucked up.
I know.
Did you hear that? He'll
tonight.
Be standing at the. Well, I'm not gonna say where it's at. He'll be standing over at fucking
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese, dressed like a dime store Great Gatsby, fucking pedophile outside the Chuck E. Cheese. There's a guy out here. He's got a Party City purple Orlando City sparkle fedora on, suspenders, and a novelty clown tie.
Yeah, big wide at the bottom, and then. So I forgot, and then I was like, shit. And then I, for some reason, let Samantha, like, it, she's, oh, God.
Well, no, I think what you said was she said something about the party.
Oh, yeah.
And then I said, because I was in here editing, and I'm like, oh, I got part of my costume coming to Amazon. Yeah. And then I think you said, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think, and Butler backed me up, I thought you said, oh, yeah, I was going to go to that. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I think that's what you said.
Shit.
I don't want to make it worse than it is. Look, I'm all about making funny and piling on and shit, but it does reach a point where I'm like, God damn, man.
I know. Get your shit together.
You got to stop. So you're making it too easy, but you're like, oh, yeah, I was going to go to that. Like, yeah. She's right here.
I'm not doing any good, dispelling
no, you
the myth
just
of special needs detective.
I'm not doing any good. Stop.
So anyway, I immediately called my wife. I was like, we need to get. I gotta. We have to go to this to celebrate Samantha's birthday party. Anyway, so we got the babysitter, and we're gonna go.
All right.
Now my new problem is, it's okay. Themed parties are one of my greatest enemies, and I've never enjoyed going to, like, I've avoided all the 80s.
It's not the Russians, it's not the anti-vaxxers, it's not Christians.
Yeah.
It's people that plan theme parties is number one, top of your list. You've said this a lot.
Not the people, it's just the themed party in general, because now I never know.
Have you ever had a theme party?
No. Remember when I graduated college, I had the quintessential beach theme graduation party.
What is that?
That's when you're too poor to do anything else, and you can get your wife can get a bunch of beach bric-a-brac.
I feel like poor people love the beach.
Yeah. They decorate they theme their bathrooms.
Yes.
Everything beach.
Always shell soaps.
Yeah.
Shell soaps.
Adirondack chair on the beach. Picture.
Yes, towels with little embroidered shell on it.
Yeah.
Picture, bottle with sand in it.
Yeah. With shells in it.
Glass, dusty glass vase filled with old dusty shells.
It's all
everybody,
dusty shells.
Dusty Shells is my fucking wrestling name.
Yeah.
I'm a beach guy. I'm Dusty Shells.
So now, because my problem is...
Oh, they're already calling you the Great Gatsby, the Great Gas Bag.
Oh, fuck you, Twitch. So I don't know...
There's his first fuck you Twitch of the day.
The problem is...
twitch.tv/TomAndDanLive if you want to catch up on shows. We video all of them.
I don't know, and I was going to ask Samantha this, but then it was disrespectful because of this whole thing of me saying I was going to go to that like it's already, I've done the damage already, so I just got to show up now.
Well, she doesn't expect you to be there tonight.
Oh,
I
no.
know. That's I'm gonna surprise her.
Oh, I'm sure it'll make her night.
Wasn't it?
Yes, he's here. Oh, tears. She's crying. Her mascara's running down her face. I'm so happy.
Yeah. I'm dressed like Leonardo DiCaprio.
But you mix up your movies and you dress like Leonardo DiCaprio, Gilbert Grape. You're
My
like-
wife's a moo.
You know, like,
I'm like Gilbert Grape party.
I'm like, don't do that voice.
Yeah.
That was you could have done that 10 years ago. Not now. Burn the house down with Tom inside. It's the only way we can bury him.
I don't know to what extent everybody's participating in this theme. You know, like
My wife got a whole bag of
I
shit
know,
for
yeah,
the
well,
party store. But that's my wife. I didn't do this.
She's gonna be flapper uniform.
I ordered one thing. I got one thing. I got a Great Gatsby hat.
Okay. Yeah.
So at the very least, even if I'm wearing and one basketball shorts and a Looney Tunes balloony basketball jersey, I'll have the Great Gatsby hat on to
Space Jam.
save it. So if we take, Space Jam jersey. So even if we just take the picture, I'll have the hat on. I'll just duck down enough to cover up the rest of my hood rat outfit.
So, because first, it being tonight, I don't know what choices I have. I started looking at Party City. Butler said,
Get a flapper dress.
All Butler got was some fake cigarettes. What does that even do? It has nothing to do with anything.
But oddly enough, he's got them.
So we can sit there and just kind of like talk, and I could be in Disney, and I could have a cigarette.
Yeah, but they'll
myself.
probably come over and go,
Like, sir, you got to put that out.
sir.
And be like,
But like he also did cigarettes. I found it odd. He brought the pack back and it says Roaring 20s fake cigarettes. And I'm like, was that a thing in the 20s?
Well, everybody smoked.
Everybody
But I
smoked
thought
back
that
then.
went all the way through the
Yeah.
20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s.
Oh, my mom smokes 2020.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It was only
Probably
like
longer.
wasn't it only like the 80s when cigarette smoking like kind of went on the decline?
yeah,
Don't be
yeah,
a dragon lady. I think
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
early 80s.
Yeah, right. It's not just a 20s thing. I guess that most people. And what
They're
what
just
makes it
really
20s
cool in the 20s.
Do they repackage them like 80s, roaring 80s cigarettes?
You can do the jacket, somebody's, I think
My vacuum salesman jacket?
Yeah.
Is that kind? Because it's brown. The thing is, like now I'm wearing a suit jacket. Like how? And then I show up and everybody just got a plastic hat and they like wearing their regular clothes. I'm like, fuck!
Are you sure it's Great Gatsby themed, or am I pulling what I pulled?
Oh, I worried
I
about
pulled
that.
the old Russ Rollins on you,
yeah,
where
yeah.
I
I knew.
lie and I tell you it's something different, and you show up dressed like a vacuum cleaner salesman, and the rest of us are dressed like Hawaii
I guess,
5-0.
yeah. I'm dressed like a cartoon wolf.
Might
in a
be
suit.
Game of Thrones. Could be Game of Thrones.
Yeah. No, I checked.
Could be Dukes of Hazzard.
Because I thought you were pranking me at the very beginning because of that. I had to look up the invite.
He was text messaging me crazy last night.
Yeah. So
What are you wearing? What are you wearing?
do you is like Samantha and her husband, are they going full on like straight up 20s costume, or are they just going little like accent costume pieces?
I
Like,
believe Sam is actually dressed up as a flapper.
okay, so full on flapper. Okay, so because I didn't, you show up too much and then you're the idiot, or you don't show up at all, then you're the curmudgeon that doesn't want to participate. And I know that's what.
I commit 100% all the time.
Yeah. He's a vestman.
Then I wanted to borrow. I texted Kramer last night.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I know Kramer's got like a 1920s suit jacket. He's got a million jackets. I was gonna go to Kramer's house and like borrow some of his.
Rip through one of his.
Chris Farley his jackets. I think that's why he deflected, and then he started telling me how to turn our suit that we bought into a 1920s style. So he started giving me all these websites.
God.
I'm like, I just want to borrow your shit.
Well,
Kramer.
what are you going to turn it in? What are you going to tailor it yourself?
No, he just said he's like take your suit that you have, your Brooks Brothers suit. He's like, get a vest and then get a pork pie hat. And then he's like, get this, get a 1920s tie, and then a silk square for like. He started telling me all this stuff. He's giving me articles and shit.
Too
I'm like,
much.
God, I just want
much.
to drive to your house and pick up a
Yeah, a
pick a whole-
1920s costume.
yeah.
Yeah. Are there any costume shops around here that you could have even rented anything or no?
I found one that.
But why are you waiting to the last minute? And you're stressing,
that's what I do.
stressing yourself out, your wife out, me and Butler out.
I know.
You're stressing Sam out,
Yeah,
probably.
I should have waited. Well, I forgot that it was her birthday today. Anyway, and then So there's nothing at Party City, but there is a vintage store in Orlando called like Orlando Vintage Clothing, and I wonder if they have
Creative
that.
name.
But it's
what do they sell there?
They probably their shit's gonna be expensive.
It's gonna be a
like,
pretty penny.
Yeah, like $100.
You know who knows a lot about this is our good friend Peter from Scotch and Good Conversation. He knows a lot about like costuming and like menswear, and we could have asked him, but here we are, day of.
Well, give him a call.
I just have my hat. I might just wear underwear in my hat.
yeah. So you're just going hat and dress shirt.
I'm gonna wear probably a bow tie.
Okay.
Dress shirt. I'm gonna roll my sleeves up. It's still a little too hot for me to be wearing a suit jacket and stuff. You know, I want to be comfortable, and I'm probably gonna just wear like khakis, brown belt, shirt, bow tie, hat. That's a lot.
Is this a dinner? What are we doing here?
Yeah,
I don't know. Okay.
Eat. Well, what do you think we're gonna do? Oh, it's
should
a
I
dance
have
contest.
RSVP'd? Or is they're gonna show up and there's gonna like they didn't? They
we
weren't
don't have
prepared?
any room for you. You and your wife have to eat by yourselves. You're not really included, but you're included. Then we all come over and we're like, we're so sorry.
That's happened to me and my wife from,
I
from
know.
not
I
RSVPing
know.
the shit because we're horrible at this.
and you're like, we just show up. It's fine.
yeah,
Oh
like
my
entitled
God.
piece of shit.
Be forced to eat with me.
Yeah, my wife.
For sure, it's Tony
okay,
Baloney.
my wife
RSVP.
has given you the rundown.
What?
Andrea, just call if you can, because it's I don't want to read text messages. Plus, she likes to wear you out because you guys are mortal calendar enemies.
yeah.
Like
the extreme opposite.
She's the planner and you're the not planner.
Oh,
and-
she bought this costume the day she received the invite.
Her
months
costume has
ago.
dust on it. She had it for 2.5 years.
Yeah, she bought it just
She
in
had
preparation
it
in
before
case.
Sam decided she wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Just in case she wanted to do that.
Yeah. This is it's last minute.
Do you remember at your wedding that I think it was Carlos's sister was running late?
Oh, she missed her boat.
Yeah, she missed the boat, and then we all took off.
Yeah, and then she
they're
stuck out the dock.
waving, and then we're driving
That
away.
sucked. I felt bad, real bad, because she drove from Orlando down to Miami.
Yeah.
And then was like 15 minutes late after the boarding. Because normally I was late for a wedding the other day, me and my wife, and then we snuck in the back and just stood and with
That's the worst because you look at other people and they look at you and you're like, I'm here. You do the weird whisper where you're like,
yeah. Then you have to
don't say anything.
You have to walk past the bride and all the bridesmaids that are standing there like posted waiting for the.
At least you didn't come through the front.
Oh yeah.
I've seen people do that before where they got mixed up at the church, and they're like where the organist comes out. Like people are like walking, they're shit. Walk back, I've seen that before.
Yeah, you could tell they're all hungover from I make fun of those people, and I've turned into that, and I blame my wife mostly because it takes her so goddamn long to get dressed for everything.
Yeah,
and her whole mindset is if she gets to somewhere early, that's actually a waste of time. Like she's mad and she gets angry that if she's like, we got here 15 minutes early, we screwed up 15 minutes waste of our life.
So she wants to get there like on the nut.
Oh yeah. Or
which is impossible.
No, I don't. No, it's always late. And then I just learned not to say.
I think that's my wife. What line is that?
1 and 2.
I think it's 1. Hey, babe.
Hi.
Hey, so give Tom the rundown.
Okay.
Don't
so
say where it is.
I'm not. It starts at 9:00.
Yeah.
Which I was like, woo, that's late.
That's a young person's birthday.
I like that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
like
pretend
9 o'clock dinner at
I'm gonna
9.
pretend I'm young. What I'll do is
doesn't
I'll
say
eat dinner.
dinner.
I'm gonna eat dinner and then I'm gonna go to bed and then get up
Wake up
and
early.
then go
Yeah.
to the dinner. Or
If
to
you go
the
to bed
drinks.
right after the show, you wake up at 8.
That's what I plan on doing.
So
I
go
checked
home,
the
I
invite,
water my
it
plants.
does not say dinner.
Oh, okay. No
So-
dinner. Okay.
So you can eat. I mean, you can eat there, but it doesn't say that we're going to do dinner. It just says drinks with friends.
Okay.
So-
See, here's the thing. I'll tell my wife it's dinner. I'll forget all this whole conversation. Then we'll show up, empty stomach, start pounding the drink.
Yes.
Shit face.
Yeah.
Fall through a Great Gatsby table.
And that's it's a long way away. It's not just down the street. So.
No, I know.
Yeah, it's a haul. You guys gonna Uber?
Yeah.
You gonna get a hand
But,
job? at Uber?
No.
Uber hand job?
Well, yeah, we'll probably Uber.
Babe, would you give me a hand job in an Uber?
No, I won't even have sex with you at your mom's house. 'Cause I'm afraid.
Would you have sex with me if my mom was driving our Uber?
So,
Nah.
all
right.
You got the whole
Yeah,
costume.
what is your
Yeah.
costume?
So I've had my outfit Yes, even before she announced it.
Okay,
because I've done this before.
She has a
So
costume drawer. Did you know that?
No,
I do.
Yeah, she has like, and they're all lined up. This is a true fucking story. So I don't want anybody ever pointing at me or Tom and saying that we're fucking crazy, because we married fucking crazy. My wife has a closet that's got like St. Pauli girl costume, astronaut leotard,
every
Doctor
possible-
Who jacket,
Yeah.
Harry Potter wig, and everything is like lined up, ready.
any occasion.
Yeah, if you're like, you got something, she's like, Teletubby. She's like, I got it. Yellow. What do you want, Tinky Winky or Doodles or whatever the fuck their names are?
I'm Tinky Winky.
What's your costume?
It's just a dress with a poofy skirt, and I've got like long pearls, and I've got like a hair thing, fascinator. I've got like a fake cigarette. I've got.
Do you have gloves?
I do have gloves. Yes.
The whole thing. So you're completely. See, now I feel like a dickhead if I show up in green shorts and the same shit I'm wearing today. And
you got like a Big Johnson tank top on, long jimmies
Or
with the Velcro strap.
I go to the vintage
You're
store.
gonna get made fun of.
Okay, well, I'll go to the vintage store, spend
Well,
$280.
then you just look like a hobo. You come in.
But then I go full on character, 1920s. I'm like putting cocaine in my actual Coca-Cola.
Oh, yeah.
And then saying the N-word. Anything
I
old.
don't know if that's what
Oh, they did that in the 20s. I know.
If you
I
get
think
a
there are
costume-
people that do that now.
I know, yeah, but more in the 20s.
If Tom ends up getting a costume, I'm going to call everybody and tell them not to dress up.
Why don't you just
Show
dress up
and
like
you're the only
Batman?
one.
You know, like,
they're cool.
I mean, it's still a costume party.
Oh, I can prank my wife and be like, oh, we were wrong. Daniel's lying. It wasn't Great Gatsby.
yeah, it's superheroes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she comes in looking like the
You're
fucking
Wonder
Storm
Woman.
from the X-Men. You painted yourself green like the Incredible Hulk.
No shirt, abs spray painted.
Purple Dukes on.
Okay, so
Her name's Andrea.
Andrea, stay on the line for this because I told you a little bit about it yesterday, but I got an update that will try to help solve the mystery. Okay. So on Wednesday, I'm over at Brian Zeimel's Streamline Mortgage Solutions office playing poker, right?
Yeah.
And Brian's like, dude, check this story out. It's crazy. So he starts telling me the story about a BDM that's buying a house, right? And Brian Zeimel's doing the mortgage on it.
There you go.
So
Streamline Mortgage.
So apparently
We're in the Streamline Studios right now.
Yeah. So apparently this BDM, he puts an offer on the house and they accept, and the house is under contract,
Okay.
right? And in the first 5 days or whatever, it's the inspection period. And during the inspection period, the buyer, who's the BDM, and the seller's not a BDM, some
Just a
stranger or
guy.
whatever, just a dude. Only the buyer can then get out of the contract under if the inspection comes bad or anything. Basically, the
I had that happen. Remember, my inspection didn't pass inspection, so I was
Yeah.
able to nullify the contract that I'd placed.
Yeah, and then you restarted
Right.
if they have to do repairs to redo the contract or whatever. But the seller, though, it's hard for them to get out of the contract for any reason. There's a couple stipulations my wife was telling me about. Like the seller can cancel the contract if he dies or she dies, or the house burns. Is it act of God type shit? Other than that, it's the seller can't get out.
I'm
right?
glad that I'm buying the house and it burned down. I don't have to still buy it. thing. That's a good.
Yeah.
Whoever thought of that is a genius.
But it's very hard for the seller to get out of a contract. So basically, the BDM's under contract. They haven't even done the inspection. It's only been a couple days.
Yeah.
And so he gets a call from the actual seller himself, which is weird to begin with because usually that's where you have a realtor, right? Although this person was selling their house by owner, so they didn't have a realtor. So the seller of the property calls.
Hello, it's the seller of the property.
Yeah.
Would you like to play a game?
So it gets fucking crazy. So the seller calls the BDM and was like, hey, how's everything going? The BDM's like, oh, yeah, good. We're going to get the inspection. He's like, oh, okay, great. Well, small talking at first,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So then the seller's like, well, I feel obligated to tell you this. I can't not tell you because morally it would be wrong or whatever. And the BDM's like, okay, what are you going to tell me?
That's a huge red flag.
Yeah. So the seller's like, all right, a couple days ago, we had a break-in in our house, right? And they didn't steal much or whatever. He glossed over the fact of like, why did they break in? He's like, but whoever broke into the house left a note on the kitchen counter, right? And so the BDM's like, okay, well, what did the note say or whatever? And then he's like, the note said, hey, something along these lines. I talked to the BDM yesterday, and he gave me approval to tell the story. He's like, so the BDM was telling me, he's like, the note said something along the lines of, this house is really easy to break into, or I can get into this house no matter what, the lock the doors or whatever, like, and whoever buys this house, I'm gonna murder their family. So,
all right.
So the seller.
Wait a minute. So he's not gonna. Whoever left the note, the people that are currently in there are fine.
Yeah.
But whoever buys the house, look out.
That's what the note
murder's
said.
a coming.
That's what the seller said.
Right.
The person that broke in the house left this note, and that's what the note said. It's like, it's easy for me to break into this house. I know how to get in. Whoever's going to buy this house, I'm going to murder their family. So the seller telling the BDM, like, I just feel obligated to tell you this because, it's really...
Apparently he likes me, but man, he's mad at you.
So the BDM's like, all right. Like, yeah.
That BDM, by the way, is in the chat room right now.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So then the BDM, like, immediately, like, suspicions go
he's
up.
in the
right?
It's an empty house, he says. Okay.
Okay, yeah. All right, so the guy didn't even live in. So the BDM, like, immediately, like, he's suspicious about this whole story because it sounds so bizarre. Like, what? This doesn't even happen. Like, this is not a thing that happens to people or whatever. So he called the police and found out that there was actually a report filed, at least.
Yeah, you can look that up. Probably public record.
At that address a couple days ago. So the seller actually filed a report saying his house is broken into, right? Now, I don't know if the actual seller in the report mentioned the note to the cops, or even if they add that. Even if they did, I imagine the cops are like, okay. Yeah, like, because it sounds so weird.
To be a note here, Shane.
Yeah, and so basically what happened is the BDM who was going to buy the house ended up backing out because, like, as time went by, at first he's like, oh, this guy's making up a story to get out of the contract, and like, because only I can cancel it.
I'd have to see the note. I mean, like, curiosity would take over me, and I'd be like, I'd like to see this note.
Take a picture of it? Yeah.
And then when Brian Zamel told me and my wife that's immediately we were like, oh, that guy made this whole shit up, filed a fake report because he must have gotten a higher offer later.
Yes.
And so basically, like, he gets under contract with this BDM for an X amount of money, and then what we started thinking is then someone else came to him and like, hey, I'll offer you $10,000-$20,000 more, especially in this market right now, like.
But he couldn't.
But he can't get out of the contract.
But he'd already agreed. Yes.
So he's under a contract. So the seller can't get out. Only the buyer can cancel the contract. So the seller could have.
You can't like call the buyer and be like, hey, man, I got another guy who's going to give me more money. So can you cancel?
No, because the buyer would be like, fuck off.
Yeah.
And he could sue you to enforce you to sell the house. Like that. Once you're under contract, like the seller could try to cancel it, but the buyer could sue the person, forcing them to sell the contract. I mean, it's happened before. I've asked Bart and Crystal about it.
We've talked about that before.
So basically, once you're under contract as a seller, it's hard to get out of. So that's what we immediately thought. Like, this guy made this whole shit up, filed a fake police report just to get like more money later, and it's actually a brilliant plan because the buyer, the BDM,
I mean, unless it's true,
now
and then he's gonna get more money, and then that poor family, the new family dies.
Now here's the weird part that doesn't factor into the story because like me and my wife already came to the conclusion that that's what happened. Like, this guy, like Jesse Smollett, filed a fake police report just to get out of this contract.
And you got to Smollett it. You got to go down with the ship. You got to write the note. You got to write the note with your left. You write it with your left hand with a crayon, so they can't. No handwriting is correct.
So the weird part is the BDM that I talked to yesterday told me he's like, yes, he's like, and he's under contract.
He's in there now. He says the seller is being truthful, is what he says.
Well, being truthful to what as far as like he did file a police report. I don't know. Like, he doesn't even know.
Well, whatever
it
you
actually
say
happened
as a human is your truth, is it not?
Yeah.
You can convince yourself to believe anything, and that's your truth.
So this is the weird part. So I talked to the BDM the other day, and he's like, yeah, me and my wife, because he's under contract with another house. He's moved on or whatever. He's like, me and my wife thought the same thing, and we keep checking on the house to see if it's going to go under contract, because then you can go on the MLS or you can go on Zillow and see what it's sold for. So if it eventually sells for way more than this BDM's offer, then you know that's exactly what happened. But apparently the house is still on the market, still for sale for the same price. Like still. And then so that BDM was like, he's like so maybe this shit did happen.
So then we decided to buy another house, and we're buying it from this old man who just in passing told us that he breaks into other houses and he left a note for somebody saying he was going to kill their family.
So the
dude, this is one of the craziest stories I've ever heard.
And apparently nobody, no realtor.
I say you buy the house, you roll the dice.
Well, he's already gone out of the contract. He's he's already moved on.
I say you offer the guy $20,000 less. Because at this point,
it's a murder house.
You threaten to tell everybody it's a murder house. So you get the house for $20,000 less. You use that $20,000 to put in an extreme security system. You're good to go.
Well, I don't believe still for 1 second that anybody really broke into a house, didn't steal anything, and left a note claiming they were going to murder the next family who moved in. This is not the fucking Scream movie. That doesn't exist. It never happens.
Somebody in the chat room, twitch.tv/TomandDanLife, they said, could it be a squatter since it's an empty house and they're just hanging in there and they don't want people to obviously take it over? I mean, it's a hell of a play if you're a squatter, is it not?
Yeah.
Babe, what do you think?
Also, the seller didn't have to disclose that to the buyer at all. The deal could have been done. He literally could have never told
he's
that.
A good person.
Yeah. I mean, there's no legal obligation for him to tell about some note that that they left. So I have no idea now. Like at this point, it's a bizarre fucking story that makes no sense.
Hey, babe, would you live in a murder house?
No, I actually had a coworker back out because somebody was actually murdered in the house that they were trying to buy. So
that's a little different, though. What if it was just would you have bought the house that you found for us to live in now if there was a note in there that said, "Hey, I know you like this house, but if you buy it, I'm gonna murder you and your family."
I might look for another one,
but
if I really loved it, I probably would come back and just have it on file with the police.
The problem is, though it's unlikely that it's true, and there's some crazy, insane serial killer or whatever that's out there to murder some random family that moves in some random house, even though the percentage of that happening is next to the zero, still in the back of your mind every day you're living in that house, you're like, was it really? Could it actually be a deranged person that
they might already be living there?
Oh,
that's like a new thing now. People living inside the attic, people living in closets.
Yeah.
The homeless people dig themselves into the walls.
Yeah.
Times are tough. It's hard to find a house in Orlando that's affordable, so you just dig into somebody else's house and you sneak out when they're sleeping.
Andrea did have a theory that maybe it's the wife or the husband, whoever didn't want to sell the house, that made this all up, staged this to
You want me to tell my own theory?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You're just putting words in my mouth.
Sorry.
But no, that's what I said.
Don't let her talk to you like that. Smack her around.
He held me on the phone this long, and then he's going to tell what he wanted me to say.
I just wanted to hear you breathe.
Oh, my God. So tell us your theory, please. What's your theory?
So basically my theory is a spouse, husband or wife, does not want to sell the house because they really love it, but I didn't know it was empty, so now that throws a wrench in this. But that they didn't want to sell it, and so they're sabotaging it without the other spouse knowing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so they don't have to sell it.
That's more likely
and they have to move back in.
Than the actuality of...
But nobody's living in it right now, right?
Right, I didn't know that before.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
crazy.
Maybe it did happen. But if it did happen, then I would like to, then at that point, I feel like I would have to pressure the police as much as humanly possible to try and find this person.
There's no way. I mean, there'd be no way to find them. The police is not going
to have them do what they did for when they stole your Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Dust for fingerprints, and then fake a call and run out the front door.
Yeah.
I love you, babe.
I love you too. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
No. Anyway, it's a bizarre story.
Dude, that's insane.
Although genius if the actual, if that was their plan, to get the buyer to back out because they were going to get more money. Although it just doesn't seem that way because now the house is still for it would have been under contract immediately for that other offer. You know what I'm saying? If that was the case.
What are any other reasons that you would, as a seller, back out?
It would only be in what I logically only because you were going to get more money from someone else. You know what I'm saying? And then that they came to you after you already went under contract. Like that would
maybe it's not an immediate thing. Maybe it's a I feel like I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to think
makes sense.
like yeah, because you would think that they would have somebody else on the line.
Or media,
but maybe they're too smart for that. Okay,
maybe they wait.
Maybe they wait because if he pulls the trigger the same, it's kind of like
same month or whatever.
Yeah, it's like girl. You have a date with a girl, right? And she's a uggo, but then you get a date with this other girl that you've been wanting to date, and she's hot, and you don't want to not go on the date with the uggo, but then you're like, oh, I'm sick, but then you go, but you still go out, and then the uggo finds out.
Yeah.
You can't do it that close together.
You're right. Yeah.
If you cancel, you got to. It's like me when I cancel on you guys, I don't do any social media.
yeah. Oh,
because I don't want
that.
you knowing I'm at Mellow Mushroom with my family, and I just didn't want to go to your stupid whatever, your Great Gatsby party.
Yeah, that was it.
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Because you never.
Fuck, I was gonna do that tonight.
Everybody knows that. Everybody's told their wife like, hey, don't go.
Put your phone away.
Go silent on social media because I backed out of this other
I've
thing.
done that before where I'm like, did you put a picture of Maisie up? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, fuck.
I told this guy we were sick. Well,
yeah, we're not. I said I had the flu.
Yeah. The whole house is quarantined.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're
got
out.
the measles.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
We
There's
don't
1,000 cases of measles running crazy. You can still get that shit.
What, the measles?
Yeah. Those of us that are older, especially me.
Oh, yeah, the vaccine.
Because my
wears
vaccine's
off.
only like 80%. Yours might be 92%. My daughter's, your son's might be like a 98%.
Yeah.
I need to go back and get another dose of the measles.
If
I get that, I'll die.
Yeah, you will. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you show up rashy, well, I'll be run out of here. I'll push Butler on you.
Well, I always show up rashy. It's just you can't see it. I cover it. It's like those commercials for the people that have eczema.
Oh, yeah.
You seen those commercials?
Yeah. The skin problems, I feel bad for people that have real bad skin problems because there's no way to hide it.
No.
And people, like, they are...
And then some old lady looks at the camera. She's like, I can finally wear tank tops.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ew. Even though you can, doesn't mean you should.
I got a tiny taste of that when I burned my hand really bad.
Yeah.
I'm doing the stupid...
your feet are kind of like that.
Your feet are looking bad.
They are. I start kicking things.
Oh, you got your shoes off. We have guests in here. They're backing away.
No.
Smells like vinegar.
But when I burned my hand and it turned black, like a thick black crust over it,
Did you
it looked
pick it?
disgusting. No. But
anybody in here a picker? That like if you get a scab or something like that, you just want to pick? Yeah, it's fun, man.
But people in college didn't want to sit next to me in my black hand. And then I saw like I would be at like a fast food place, and they'd look like I'd see him look at it for a second, then look back up like I understood what it felt like to be an animal, like disfigured in some way.
Don't look at me.
Yeah. And I imagine that with the eczema, like you have the psoriasis.
Psoriasis, that's what it is. They do the commercials, and it's like some old granny, and she's like putting her wear clothing. And then they show it like it's like every day from the start day she has on like turtleneck, sweater, a hat. Gardening gloves, and then as things progress, you see her taking off more and more clothing. Does it get flaky?
Oh yeah, it's red and flake crazy.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
Then people
I feel bad. Yeah, that's bad.
Oh, gross. And then it flakes off, and then the wind blows it into your drink. I'm saying that's what happens. Then you power through it because you don't want to be a dickhead.
Like, can I have a straw, please? My date is flaking into my Diet Pepsi.
All right, let's take a quick break.
That's the grossest thing you've ever said.
Now coming up next, we'll do some mail on mail.
Yeah.
Butler will read the emails.
I got plenty of voicemails. Level 10 Carl's back. That guy's a fucking animal.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, and then I got an email from like his sister who's like, it's good to hear my brother. Well, I don't know I'm doing a man's voice, but It's like, it's good to hear my brother on the show. He's doing good. And I'm like, no,
He's
not good.
Yeah.
He's doing bad.
He leaves us 10 messages getting drunker by the
Oh,
message.
there's one I had that I don't even know what he says.
Yeah,
I'll play that a little bit later.
I got Seth coming in to do, what'd you say, news for fit people?
News for fit people only.
Oh,
So these
okay.
are all the stories for just muscle heads.
And then you said he wanted to get paid the same. Oh, God.
Well, you're going to have to talk to him about that.
Yeah.
I agreed. I
No.
said, fine, you get paid.
Yeah. He wanted bus deckers?
Yeah, he wants the bus decker money.
Bus decker salary.
Bus
Yeah.
deckers are legitimate. I mean, he's under a legitimate journalist.
I
at this
think
point.
Seth feels like he's here. He's here.
Oh, okay. No.
Yeah. Oh, we locked him out. Now he's mad already. He's already on tilt. I feel
All
like
right.
he's at literally a few minutes away from kicking us.
Oh, it
Scissor
hurt.
kicking our heads. All right, we'll take a little break. The name of this band is Stealing Sheep. They have a new album out called Big Wows. This is called Why Haven't I? It's interesting. This is like indie pop. I think you'll like it. We'll be back with more A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan right after this. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha's not here. It's her birthday, so she took off. But that is her good friend and my good friend, Pariah Mike. He wrote that song and sent it in to us, and we always love to play BDM music. So, Mike, we love you. Thanks for providing us with some great music today. Butler's sitting in for Sam in her chair and on news today, and he just walked in the building. He was locked out. Sorry about that. Our good friend, Seth Petrocelli.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
So, how you been doing, Seth?
Hey, congrats on the
You
movie.
usually don't ever start like, hey.
The movie thing is great, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Congrats,
It's,
because I know you like. I remember it's been a long time since you filmed that,
like
right?
a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago.
Because I remember you flew away for the filming.
I was in LA
Yeah.
for a while doing it. Filmed a lot of it, and then they just released a trailer, so that was gonna be part of my news actually.
We'll
Is
still
that
talk
half your
about it.
news?
That was my.
We'll still talk about it.
Yeah. But yeah, it looked good. Like
Yeah, it
I
was
had
good.
my doubts when you told me about it. At first, I thought it was totally fake, and you were just going to see another
Russian.
some other
Well, on that side
Russian
of the
bride.
country,
that
it'd be
you-
like probably like a Korean or
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
a Filipino.
Have you changed?
I've been
your-
looking at them actually. They're looking better now. The Koreans and Filipinos. I usually wasn't into Asians, but
I don't think you're.
Looking
I
better
mean, there's
now.
other ways to say that.
What? What? Really?
You know what? I was wrong about them.
Oh, I mean, like,
They's good now. They's good.
I just never saw myself with. There's nothing. Okay.
Yeah, you just. There he goes.
Oh, it's like, do you
helping
do you
your
guys
case
do you
of
like
getting
blonde
paid
hair or
as
brunette? You have a preference, do you not? Blonde hair, brunette.
I've never
Oh,
really.
shut the F up.
No, I really haven't. I've dated both
Okay.
blonde and brunette.
Yeah, whatever.
I really like black hair, like Veronica
So
Lodge
I don't
from
like-
Archie
I
Comics.
don't like black hair, so you know.
Yeah, I'm not that. I mean, like I find
anything.
not anything, but like I'm not
Yeah.
so picky that I would like I wouldn't date somebody with black hair.
What about
no, I wouldn't be
shaved
like
head?
that.
You've
I
seen
like
that.
the pixie cut. I like the pixie look.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
pixie
yeah.
cut? No,
Pixie cut.
see that's
Yeah,
what
that'd
No,
be
no,
good
no. I'm
face.
talking about like
pixie cut to
buzz.
me is like, oh, you're
Oh, like
you're
Sinead O'Connor
coming in
and
for a
stuff?
landing.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you have the pixie cut, or I call it the Trading Spaces Paige Davis.
No, yeah,
If you have the Paige Davis, I'm like, I don't know.
yeah, the
you're-
MILF.
Yeah,
no.
you got the let me talk to your manager haircut.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
Or somebody said it's horribly racist to me of like that haircut. The what is her name? Kate Gosselin haircut.
yeah.
Everybody was
Kate
like,
Blanchett.
it's the standard. I'm white, but my kids are not haircut, and I'm like, oh my god, that's terrible. Why would you say that?
yeah. Let's do some mail on mail.
All right, mail on mail. It is, sir. Here we go.
Hey guys, thanks for calling 1-800-HOT-DICK, the place to find real action with real men. To make it even better, we've got new low prices. So low, we're practically giving it away free.
If you are a man seeking a woman, press 1. If you are a woman seeking a man, press 2. If you are a man seeking a man, press 3.
Mail on mail.
Mail on Mail brought to you by BartTheRealtor.com,
There
the
you
Bart
go.
Merritt team. Bart Merrick, Crystal Van. We have a couple in here that had bought did you buy or sell a house, Josh?
Both. Bought and sell.
How was your experience?
It was pretty awesome and actually really easy.
All right. Well, there it is.
You heard it. You barely heard.
Josh said, awesome, easy. And here's the thing. You're getting two realtors working for you that have extremely, especially Bart. Bart's probably, how many houses now through Tom and Dan listeners?
Hundreds. Man, at least 3 or 4.
Yeah. It is a lot.
Houses.
Yeah. My wife's got over 100 under her belt already. Yeah. So it's barttherealtor.com. All right, let's do email first. Travis.
All right. So we have a hello from Northern California. Heard you wonder if there was a Bigfoot museum, and there is in Willow Creek, California. It's supposed to be in the ground zero for Bigfoot sightings. Rob Lowe did a show there with his son. Bobcat Goldthwait filmed a movie about it called Willow Creek. I've been there a few times and never stopped in to check it out. Here's a link. Blah, blah, blah. Enjoy the show. Granny Beth rocks. Bye.
All right. So there is a Bigfoot mecca. Is that where, like, Northern California Redwood National Forest and all that?
Big Sur and all that shit up there, yeah.
That makes sense. It's like, giant redwood trees, and then has that allure of mysticism.
You believe in Bigfoot?
No, I
don't
believe in anything.
Seth, you believe in Bigfoot?
I didn't. But
oh no!
I mean, here's the thing.
There's definitely stuff out there that we haven't found yet.
Yeah, no, that's the problem with this argument is that anytime someone says, like, you talk to someone that maybe believes in Bigfoot and they're like, I don't know, we're still discovering new species. I'm like, yeah, you're discovering a tiny
insects
fish on the bottom of the ocean that we didn't. It's the size of a quarter that is a relative to fish we already. It looks kind of like this fish, but it's a completely new species.
But think about it. To the tinier fish that we've never seen before that are even tinier than the fish that's there, that fish is a Bigfoot.
Yeah, but
right?
But so maybe there's something way bigger than us.
Yeah, it's not
like the Earth is a giant's head or something.
It could be.
It's not a 10
yeah.
foot, like, for lack of a better term, gorilla person wandering through a national park that's visited by 100,000 people a year. It's like it's not that. It's a tiny fish or some beetle in the Amazon that no one knew existed. It's not a Bigfoot. Like, we haven't discovered something like huge or that had any relevance like that in a long time. So it doesn't exist. I guarantee it. I'll bet my life on it.
What about like plesiosaurs, like the Loch Ness Monster and all that sort of thing?
Fake too, yeah. There's here's the thing: there's too much attention on it. Like, everybody tried to find it.
Well, that's just in one. I'm talking. Okay, an ocean, like somewhere out in the middle, like a big giant thing out in the ocean, like a megalodon, like a megalodon.
Well, megalodon's real,
dude. But
well, it was real. Not now.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if we found one, then I could see us finding a big fat megalodon. We're like, oh yeah, all right, kill it.
Well, there's
you gotta beat it to death.
You definitely gotta kill it.
Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah.
We've talked to Drive Turkey before, who's our submarineman, and he's told us, he's like, they've mapped the entire ocean.
Everything's
like,
been mapped.
So with all the navies combined and all the mapping, is like every bit of the entire ocean is mapped already. Like, we know where, and like, have we been there? No, but we've mapped it, and we would, like, there's not some sleeping giant,
unless some nation found it and then, like,
took it for their own.
Yeah, contained it, and then, like, isn't leaking the secret
and is weaponizing it.
Somehow. Yes.
It's hard for me to believe any of that stuff, and nowadays that people would be able to keep that a secret with with cell phone and everything. You would think it would be leaked out. Like, it's like Area 51. And, I mean, there are people that claim, like, oh, I've seen aliens and stuff. It's not enough evidence for anybody to say, like, oh wow, it's always crazy conspiracy theorists. It's always like some documentary on Netflix about it where you're like, there's never been any.
And the way that they explain
out
out of any of that is don't trust the government. And they're lying to you.
Yeah.
For
Which is an easy,
right? Like, you're just believing what they want you to believe. That's what everybody says, right?
Yeah.
If you're a conspiracy guy, that's what you say.
Maybe it's just my dad being at my house living there every morning. He just listens to conspiracy theories at the dining room table.
Really?
And I'm making my fucking eggs like, oh, I want to hit him with a spatula. So it's driving me nuts.
Is he living at your house?
Oh, he was until about 3 months ago, yeah.
When you were making him work.
Well, the
work is done
then you
now.
kicked him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like,
the work is done.
The baseboards look okay. Get the fuck out of
my
house.
It's time to go. I mean,
I've been told conspiracy theories by relatives in which you can't, like on the show when someone calls in, I could attack them, I call them an idiot, whatever. But when you're talking to a relative, you can't do it. You just have to sit there and politely listen, like, oh yeah, that I see where you're going with that. But I heard one time where there was like this global conspiracy within, like, it's a thing. It's like a well-known one, but it somehow has to do with like the movie industry. And I think it's tied into like mass shootings or something like that. Like, and the movie industry releases like warnings through like
subliminal warnings?
Not subliminal, like little warnings through the scenes in their movie that tells you the future.
Like QAnon or that guy, right?
Some
or
shit
whatever.
like that.
Yeah.
I just have to nod. I'm eating my
the
pasta.
guy that like he's in tight with Trump, and Trump's like draining the swamp, and he's like he's communicating with Q, and they know what's going on, and they're like the heroes. That stuff's insane.
Yeah, it is.
Why can't you tell a family member to F up? Like, why?
No, I mean, be polite.
It's just with this guy. He doesn't like conflict.
I just
He's
got
be
a huge Facebook fight with my uncle. Like, bad.
No, why do you do that?
Really bad.
About what?
I feel bad, kind of, but political stuff. You know?
Why do you do that?
He's like super liberal and left, which is fine, but...
I thought it was the opposite.
Yeah.
What are you, you Trumpy?
Look, he ain't helping me. I'm a small business. I got butt fucked.
But he's just real far left. And
QAnon.
Had a lot of
so you are the...
There's literally a war of like 50 things. And my aunt jumped in and is like, you two just got to stop it. Why are you guys arguing?
Oh, shit.
I can't take it anymore. She's like, would you guys just both stop?
What do you think you're accomplishing there at this point?
I don't know. When
you
somebody's
don't hear
wrong.
different opinions?
No, because I know it's wrong. And it's stupid. Whatever you're saying is just wrong.
Well, what was he saying?
Just dumb stuff like saying how I'll read you the whole text.
No, he's saying abortion should be legal.
I don't believe that.
I didn't realize Seth was right wing.
He's just constantly complaining. I'm like, look, it's not even about Trump anymore. It's just about you just wanting to complain about something. If it wasn't Trump, it'd be something else. I'm like, and I went kind of personal. I said,
is he your dad's brother?
Yeah, and I was like, look, if it wasn't this or something else, it's your life that you need to get control of. And I went kind of deep.
Oh my God, character.
Yeah, I did.
That's your uncle.
Yeah, I know. But,
if it wasn't for Facebook, you'd be a pedophile. Why would you say that? Too far.
Yeah. Do you have to see him at a family function?
I just saw him 2 days ago.
Oh, did it go well?
For Easter, yeah, we saw each other for Easter. No, I didn't say anything to him.
Did he step on
your... He kind of like glanced at each other a little bit.
Yeah.
It was awkward.
Seth,
did you do the thing where he's like, I don't know his first name, but I'll just say Harvey, and you're like,
just thinking the most common Italian name.
Yeah, Tony, and you're like,
Close,
and you're like Tony, and he's like Seth.
And
then you walk by that thing, yes.
When was the last time your dad could beat you up? Like, are you talking early teenager? Or? Because
how about the last time he did beat me up was
oh my God,
eighth grade, because I think, did I tell you the story about me wiping boogers and pubes on a girl?
No, you didn't. Go ahead and tell it.
On the way back,
Samantha, you picked a good day.
On the way back from a volleyball tournament, I was in the back seat, and the girl.
You were playing volleyball.
I played volleyball in middle school. Fuck off.
I was gonna yell something, but yeah, there it is.
It was only a quarter.
We're backing it off now. Different time.
The cool kids played volleyball. Anyway, the scorekeeper. There's always the girl that's on the team that's a scorekeeper and stuff.
Yeah. I thought there was only girls on the team in volleyball. So go ahead.
She was sitting in the front, and me and my buddy, his name was Hogan. We used to do all sorts of gross stuff together. And anyway,
let's do some gross stuff, brother.
We just started joking around like,
hey, I got an idea, brother. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take our vitamins, brother, and then I'm gonna wrap these big pubes and boogers, brother, all over. What you gotta do when I wrap my pubes and my boogers around you?
I'm pretty sure we prefaced that before we did it to this woman. But she kept
Booger Hogan, a new character.
She kept like flicking her hair back.
New character,
Booger Hogan.
You be Booger Hogan. When it comes crashing down and the pubes are inside.
But she was getting really annoyed, like, stop it, like brushing her hair back and stuff. And he would come from the left, I would come from the right, and then I remember reaching down and saying pubes, and she's like, "Don't you put pubes?" And I ripped them out and I sprinkled them on her. And she goes, she turned around,
nailed
she
it, brother.
She started crying, and I remember my teacher, bald-headed, glasses, Slammed on the brakes in the van. Looking
Oh, I spilled my Slurpee, brother.
Turned around and I remember this vein popping out of his head. He's like, "What do you do? How could you be doing?" Just went off nuts. And me and him were just sitting in the back like, "Oh shit, we're in trouble." Obviously, got back to the school. They called my dad, and I knew it was gonna happen. So soon. Hogan was on the outside. So I got in my car and I was leaving. Yeah, Hogan. My friend Hogan. His name was Hogan, really. And
your dad's gonna beat you up, brother.
he said the next day the last.
Jimmy Hart's picking me up in a couple minutes. Mouth to the south, brother.
He said as we were pulling away in the back in the window of the pickup truck, all he saw was my dad's hand on the steering wheel and his right hand just swinging as hard as he could.
Oh, was he beating you?
Yeah, he beat the
shit. He's giving him the pythons,
brother. He was giving me the pythons to the hammer fist, the back hammer fist to the face. So.
Did you learn your lesson?
No,
okay. No, obviously not.
I still walk around downtown with my balls hanging out and peeing on doing. I don't care.
So it didn't do anything to you.
Nope.
Hitting your kids, apparently doesn't teach them any sort of lesson.
Yeah, no.
But I think the problem
it teaches them to hit their kids.
Yeah. Teaches them to set them a hit. And,
look what he becomes. Yeah. He becomes a professional violent.
I buried it right down and then took it out on my opponent.
So and then now you're living your best life. No hypochondria. No multiple MRIs.
I don't think that has to do with getting beat. You only beat me a couple times.
No, of course it doesn't have anything to do with severe mental.
The problem was he apologized after, and I didn't respect him after that.
Oh my God!
You're like, you're a pussy.
No, what happened was I had a punching bag in my room, and I went home, and I remember I walked to my room, and I was so mad I started punching it, and he bust down the door. He's like, "Do you wish that was me? Do you wish that was me?"
Oh my God!
He's crying.
Oh yeah, I'm crying.
Drunk. Dude, I fucking dare ya.
It was a pretty,
That's the Mel Gibson.
It was a pretty intense family moment.
Fucking hit me. You know you want to fucking do it, but you know what? You don't have the fucking balls to do it. You don't have the balls to do it. I knew it. You're pathetic. I should have jacked off on the carpet instead of coming in your mom.
It wasn't that vulgar.
Did you live with just your dad?
No, both.
Oh, your mom and dad.
My mom, yeah. My dad actually protected us from my mom a few times.
Oh my God, she was the real Hogan.
We had to line up in line with a spoon. You know the spoon in the belt thing. We lined up.
Spoon in the belt.
Yeah, either a wooden spoon.
Is that a
or
restaurant
belt.
downtown?
Yeah. It should be.
They would whip you.
Welcome to the spoon in the belt.
Well, it was more spoon, the wood spoon, and I broke it on my ass, which was really proud one day.
You broke the spoon on your ass?
Yeah, it broke.
Here, I'm no parenting expert at all, as you guys know.
Holy
but
shit, Seth!
It seems like
it didn't happen a lot. It wasn't like a.
I understand the immediate, like your kids are gonna run into traffic, or he goes to grab the boiling pot of water, or he disrespects you, slaps you, or spits in your face, or something like that.
Spits in your face.
Yeah, like I don't know, in some extreme version of that.
But the dad is spitting in the
sun. No, the kid, like a kid anyway.
Punishment is open your mouth. I'm gonna spit in your mouth.
I can understand like slapping the kid or spanking him right at that moment, whatever.
I know you like that. You also probably hold it open and spit inside of it, right?
Well, you grabbed it
like the program.
No, I'm talking about something completely different.
Oh, sorry.
I'm doing this, not this.
Yeah.
This is different.
But the to telling the kid to scheduling the corporal punishment aspect of like I'm gonna beat you at this particular time, be ready for it. That seems odd to me. Having my own kids, that seems like not only odd that they don't understand and they won't comprehend that this is happening because of this. Like that aspect of it seems bizarre.
Alex Demand in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, says Seth's dad beating him is why he eats butt.
There could be.
I'm a psychology major, and I don't see the correlation between those two.
Yeah. It made you freaky.
Yeah. It did. What? You're spitting and everything. You're
like
eating everything.
Yeah. That definitely affected you because it's not normal. And you're
bullshit.
Sexual.
That's very normal. That's
eating ass. Is that normal?
I'd say 40% of the population.
No way.
I think that's high. I think that's a little high.
Yeah. I don't think.
I'm a 36%. There's no more than 36%.
Yeah. I don't. None of my friends.
I don't think my wife would let me eat her butt.
Yeah. Like at this, maybe that's a young person's thing.
Or an extreme old person's thing.
No.
But then by the time you get really old, you're like, it's bad down there.
I think Seth's dating like girls in their early 20s. Like I think I heard that
fresh
they
butt.
like that. Yeah.
But as you get older, that butt.
No. Yeah. It started seeing.
Well, I don't know about that. Was it really?
It's got mileage on it.
Oh, it'll get miles on it.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And next thing you know, you'll need an extended warranty.
Yeah.
And,
Those things are expensive.
Yeah, they are.
Breaking down.
Yeah, and then windows won't go up. If you know what I mean.
So we'll play a voicemail.
You gotta fucking duct tape a tarp keep it from raining on your collection of magazines.
Yeah.
Sounds very awful.
All right.
The roof is drooping.
Yeah. Oh, headliner's falling way down, and then you get the headliner repaired. That's a boob job. You get the headliner repaired, and then you're good for a little while. But then it starts. One of them, undoubtedly, one of them will start leaking.
Yeah, it doesn't even have Bluetooth.
Then her body's starting to absorb the saline, and then you're like, oh god. And then every time you look at her, she looks like old wappa tits.
Yeah.
One is tiny and one's big, and then you're like, she's got to go in to get it again, and then the scars get bigger, and you're like, you should have just left them alone, and then you're not attracted to her anymore. And the only way you can get hard is to watch Faces of Death.
Hey, this is Luke from Atlanta, listening to the latest Gentleman's Guide. Dan asks, what is the craziest thing you've eaten? Tom says, cum. Right around the 37.50 mark. Pretty interesting, because right before that, Tom says, do anything in the right situation. Anyway, found it hilarious. Good luck, boys.
I didn't say that. First, I've never eaten cum. And if I did say it, it was for shock value.
You've never,
listen, I can't.
Even when you're a kid, you weren't curious as to, like, what is this myth? What is this coming out of my hose?
I can't say 100% I didn't. I don't have any recollection.
Look, hey, everybody. I do not remember. Mueller report. How many times you going to say that? Then I got to go in and redact every time you said, I do not remember when I ate cum.
I can't say with a 100%, that I didn't, but I don't remember. And although I do,
I know somebody who has, and he can kick your head off.
Oh yeah.
I haven't. No, that's one.
You never
freaky
even
thing.
tasted it.
I mean, on accident when I go down, I'm down. But when I go down after I'm done,
whoa! I think you got your order mixed up.
Yeah, that's more.
Yeah, you don't put the pepperoni after you bake the pizza. You put it on before you put it in the oven.
Well, I like to make sure, like, if they don't.
Yeah, this motherfucker bakes a pizza, takes it out, puts the cheese on.
Yeah. Take the Burger King cups out of your car when you go before you get it.
I'm the type of person that likes to please. So if the woman doesn't finish while I'm finished, I go and take care of it.
Oh,
like
Lord
a
have
man.
mercy.
Well, no, yeah, but don't.
Doesn't bother me.
Well, then just go on the belly.
Yeah, don't
and then,
finish.
I do, but it just kind of is everywhere at that point.
Yeah, you have her go. You go on your belly, and then you say, "Make a bridge." don't let it get in my eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes
Make
it gets
a
on my
bridge.
because it's on my nose. Sometimes.
Okay, all right.
My God,
Jesus Christ.
my computer froze up, so I have nowhere to go.
All right.
I can't play.
Next email.
Yeah, next email.
That's a great.
Christ at a bike.
Out here rocking a BDM patch. I get asked about this a bunch. One of my favorite questions is, "Hey Doc, what does this BDM stand for?" I received a thumb drive from with all the shows that my old lady had you guys load up for me. It means a lot that you were able to get the shows sent out to me, so I don't miss too much while I'm deployed. Hopefully, I'll be back soon, so I can listen to the shows again in the old-fashioned way, sucking fat titties. He doesn't give a name.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to be named. One of our military listeners, one of our guys that's out there,
cool,
working for his family and defending our country, and he's out there, and his wife hit me up and asked if I would send him a thumb. She Amazoned me a thumb drive.
Yeah.
By the way, I will do this for anybody in the military.
Yeah.
It takes no time at all, and we'll pay the postage.
Yeah. If you're not in the military, we will not do
We
this
will
for
not.
you.
Yeah, but if you're overseas and you're deployed and you and your boys want something to listen to and you like the show, have your wife or whomever send me a thumb drive. I will load it up with all of our latest shows and tunes, and then BDM shows too. And I will put it in the mail, and I will send it to your base. And that offer stands for anybody that's in our armed services. Because it was such a cool idea. He's been missing all the shows, and the wife asked me if I'd do that. I was like, shit, I've never thought about that. And the shows, if I use the smaller files, they don't take up very much room at all. I think it was like For what I sent him, it was like less than 5 gigs. So
Yeah,
anyway,
you can get awesome size thumb drives now too, like terabytes.
He has like a BDM patch on his rucksack and everything. It's very cool.
I think Americans in general forget that we have military still in like Afghanistan. Still, I'm guessing for sure still in Iraq. Have we pulled all the way out of there? It's like this shows you how little I know. But there are guys still in hellhole places. Because they have to be there, and there are thousands of them going day to day, having to deal with that shit. So, hats off to you guys.
So if we can help you guys out, let us do it, please. I got it going again.
Yo, Tom and Dan, Samantha Butler. Dan's got the right idea. Chris Fisher's got the right idea. You got to eat the booty. Eat the booty. Bye.
All right, there's another vote for Eat the Booty.
See?
Why do
41%?
Let me ask you this, Seth. Okay, let me
and counting.
I'm still sticking with my 36.
Yeah, bullshit. I
without being too gross, because sometimes we go too far. Now, what is it for the girl or for you?
Oh, me.
Okay, why is that better than the other thing? Like
it's like it's wrong. It's dirty-ish. So it's like,
because you like it in the fact that it's dirtier,
but not.
Yeah, but if I go to a restaurant, I don't go, "Hey, got any rotten food?"
Okay, when
I feel naughty.
When I
go in the back and get me a rotten hot dog. I'm gonna
smear some shit on.
When I say dirty, I don't mean literally like feces around it. Like that's gross. Of course,
taboo.
Not. It's taboo.
Okay.
That's a good word. Yeah.
Now,
but it's also for them. I know if they're liking it, then of course I get pleasure out of their pleasure. That's why I like the
all right.
But they could get.
I really do.
That's not weird.
I really like that. I get pleasure off them.
Yeah, that's not weird at all. That's like how I do Christmas. But I don't really want anything, but I love giving the gifts to all of you guys.
Yeah, I like giving the gift of tongue in the butt.
Now what?
It's a thing. That's a thing.
But when they like the regular, the OG standard better,
the tongue in the puss?
That too.
That's the OG. Give me the OG or give me the new school. The new school is tongue in the butt. The old school is tongue in the pig.
But you just got to test the water. You got to start with that.
But guys, do you like that? Do you want her to reciprocate and eat your butt?
I'm not down.
Because a lot of guys are into that.
You know what? I will say I won't bust them out. Either. Fuck it. The Wizard one time had a girlfriend in college.
Yeah, I know
that was all about this, and I remember when we were young, like 20, 21, he was like telling us all about it and how it was the best thing in the world. He never ventured into this. It was butt crarazy. Both, and he's like, when she does it to me, it opened my world up.
Yeah, my buddy Dave, his brother, that I will not say his name. He would, and this is when I was like, shit, in middle school, he would come back from dates and he'd be like, "Sweet Dan," he talked like that. He's like, "Sweet Dan, oh man, you ain't lived. You've had a girl eat your butt." And he's like, "Oh God, he's tonguing." He's talking like that. He's like, "You tonguing your asshole, man. You cum so much." And I'm like, really?
I got room when I was younger. Like I had it done to me when I was 20, when I first moved to Orlando, and this girl was smoking hot, like beautiful. Like I was kind of nervous around her. First time she went down on me in my room, she went down there and did that. And I was young. I wasn't prepped down there. I was still hairy and struggling, so I didn't shave anything. So as soon as she was done, she's like, "Okay, well, maybe next time you can kind of like trim down there and stuff like that." I was like, I got so embarrassed.
Making out
we had a fucking ponytail back then.
It's called a wizard. It's called a wizard sleeve because it pops out like a wizard sleeve. Like it looks like hair. The hair comes together and it's like it's weird.
Oh, he's quoting Borat.
That's what my friend said I look like.
And then
wait, your butthole.
Why did you
have
like
a prolapse?
No, wait, no.
That's a wizard sleeve.
No, the hair was pushed together, so it looks like.
It couldn't be
you get the butt cheek and you get the hair. The hair was so much hair.
It looks like Bob Ross whistling.
Here's the thing.
What it is.
But going back to my original theory,
not anymore. I shaved it off.
The regular.
I learned my lesson.
It has to be better than that.
I'm
right?
with Tom. I think like for me,
regular what?
For me, a
BJ
blowjob is better than a tongue in the bee.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, then why even mess with that? It's like if you could have.
It's like I like
better.
having sex with my wife, but she sticks her fingers in my nose. You know, I'm like, well, I'd rather have the sex.
It's an addition too. Like as you're having sex, you both finger in the butt too.
Oh, okay. Well, now you're going to actually getting a digit.
Oh,
yeah. Why is that good? Like,
let me get the digits.
Is it your prostate? Like I know there's something with like milking.
I'm
your
not
prostate.
about doing it to me. I'm talking about doing it to them. I don't know about me. I never done that.
You can honk it. The prostate. You put the finger and you press down on it, and it's like it's like when the elevator's already been called.
Okay, I don't want to get too like descriptive, but I kind of have to be.
The elevator's already been called. The button is lit. Mm-hmm. But what do? You keep mashing it.
Okay.
And it's like, I can't stop.
Oh, is that how it works?
Usually it's when you're doggy style. and you're in the normal position, doing it in the vagina, and the butthole's there. So you put the finger in the butthole, you press down. Your penis is right under it, so your finger is pressing down on your penis, making it like super, super tight. So not only are you pleasing her by having the finger in the butthole and in the vagina, but you're also making it super tight for yourself by tightening both holes. By
yeah, you're going.
No, I mean that's serious. I feel my finger on the top of my.
Oh my god, I don't want to feel my finger.
I do, but there's
I'm like, oh, my finger's there. I'm like,
I don't even know what's happening down there. I don't even ask.
I don't understand.
I'm looking at the ceiling.
To me,
I'm looking at this like a scientist. Like,
I don't know.
I
what's
love
happening.
sex, and I think I'm the self-proclaimed horniest person on the show. But I think it like I'm with you. I don't understand how it works. To me, it's just magic.
Yeah.
There's like a hole, and I put the thing in there, and it feels good. It's magic.
The regular's fine. I don't need to start going into. Like, I'll say that for my later years.
Yeah. I'd like
ask
just a cheese.
Ask your wife if the regular's fine.
Well, she don't want that. That's what
I don't think she wants that. I think if we were to call her,
bullshit.
No, she doesn't.
Okay.
She'll tell you something just for the show. I know my wife.
Next thing you know, you're planting the seed this weekend. He's going to end up.
He's gonna try it out.
I did something very bad. After the Great Gatsby party, I did something very bad. Let's just say I did the Great Gatsby.
Not good. All right, let's do another voicemail.
Okay, here we go.
Hey guys, just got done listening to A Gentleman's Guide, and I found out that I'm a way better husband than any of you three, because you guys were really bashing traditional wedding gifts. And to me, there's nothing more gentlemanly than making your wife feel extremely special and extremely important, and going above and beyond for anniversaries and birthdays and alike. So I think where you guys missed the boat was the following the pattern of traditional gifts. It just really gives you an idea. You don't have to go buy something material made of that. You can get creative and have a little bit of fun with it, and hopefully on an anniversary create a memory together.
Thank you, Daniel.
Something that
I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah. I wanted.
A lot of people think that we have two brains on the show. We do not. We are linked. And I knew you would want me just to slowly fade out that guy. Somebody in the chat room said this guy is a pussy.
Yeah, sir. We were talking.
I was in a vortex for a second.
We were talking crap about that list of traditional gifts. Like, you've been married. Like, I forgot what the 10-year one was, but it was like 10 or pottery or whatever.
10.
Yeah, like 10, like my
9. Mine is this year's 9 years for me being married.
Wow, that's awesome.
That is, thank you. It's look, I'll never do any better, so I have to make it work. And it's pottery.
Yeah,
and like that's
stupid.
I like mid-century modern. I like modern stuff. I like throwbacky, but I don't want any Southwest shit. I don't want any fucking Navajo blankets. I don't want any pottery, traditional pottery.
Your wife doesn't want that.
I don't want
either.
any flutes. I don't want any cactus pots. I don't want any of that garbage.
Cactus pots are kind of
You want something for yourself.
It's good if you like it, but it's just not something I'm into.
Yeah, and that's where we're saying, of course, you have to get your wife an anniversary present, and you have to get her something good. We're saying that the antiquated list of for 2 years your paper is like what the fuck paper?
We've got you some toilet
where did this
paper.
come from? What are this tradition?
That's what
like,
it's old. That's what I asked Kramer that time. He just kept arguing with me about
what? Like, what do you mean old? Like centuries old, or like freaking like?
We couldn't narrow it down to where it came from, but it was put together a way long ago, and none of what is none of it fits anymore.
What's 50-year anniversary?
The new wife.
Platinum?
I think it might be
starts
platinum.
getting into
platinum.
I think that Andrea's grandparents actually made it to their 50 and plus.
Really?
Like years, I think they did like 55 or something. It
I
was
could do that
insane.
if I get married now. I'd be 90 when that happens. That'd be so cool.
Do you want to get married now?
Of course, I want to get married.
Yeah. My folks are about
you
to
always
celebrate
ask me
the
this. I want a
47th.
girlfriend. I want kids. I want a family.
No, I didn't know. I honestly wasn't trying to be like weird or disrespectful. I didn't know if you wanted to be single, because there's a part of me.
Being single.
I'll get shit about this, but there's a part of me that I think back and I'm like, it'd be really fun to have just stayed single.
Dude, the dating pool right now, it's not fun.
good.
I mean, it's good, but it's just not. It's
I have
work.
friends
it's
of mine that are girls that said exactly the same thing. They say it is so fucking hard.
Really? What's her name?
Comparatively. She's great. You'd like her.
Yeah,
Fitness chick.
Send them over.
Very funny.
Seth, how is
she's not super young though.
As you get older, and then the girls you date stay the same.
All right.
Yeah, to quote Matthew McConaughey. So how does it work as far as like I heard like girls in their early 20s, they grew up with social media their whole lives and they have some of them, not all of them, but some of them have a difficulty maintaining a conversation in person because they're so used to conversing on social media.
The attention span's different.
Yeah, their attention span's different. They're used to living their life on social media.
So, I find that whenever I meet somebody on Bumble or Tinder, whatever it is like that, it's literally like I don't talk to them. I don't hear a voice until I meet him on the first date. Like
is that weird?
Not really. I kind of don't mind it like that.
But you've done it some, so it's not like
I've done it, so it's kind of normal. But yeah, the first time actually speaking is actually like meeting him on a first date. Like after we talked.
Hello.
After we probably exchanged.
It is excellent to meet
butt
you.
pics already.
I'm a big fan.
Is it awkward? Because I know listen. You're older.
But talking to him, it's fine. It's normal. I mean, they know how to conversate for the most of them.
Because you're older than I am.
Did you say conversate?
Converse.
There you go.
We come from a generation.
I fixed it real fast.
Where you dated at one time pre-social media and pre smartphone and stuff.
Yeah.
So and these people haven't. There had to be.
You know what it's like to have a T-Mobile sidekick.
Yeah.
I never had a sidekick.
You know what it's like to have a BlackBerry.
I know what it's like to print out MapQuest directions.
Yeah, I remember doing that too for dates. I remember I was in my BMW, it was like our Z3. I had a Z3.
Really?
Yeah, and I had the top down, and I had my MapQuest, and I was driving out there. Remember, this is the one where I parked
the James Bond thing?
I parked at the girls' It was a purple. It was bad, too. It was a purple BMW Z3, and I parked it at this girl's house, and I went in there. Remember, we were making out, and then her son came down the stairs, and she had brand new big fake titties, and I was fucking sucking those titties. And then she's like, "I'll be right back," and she put her shirt on. And then she went up to tuck her kid in, and I ran for my car, and I got in. I put the top down. I started driving my MapQuest director, flying out like trying to drive.
You dipped out on her?
Oh yeah, because she had a kid. I was like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Yeah.
Smoking a cigarette.
See me. My head would go, if I do this, she's gonna get pissed off and say that I did something to her in the car, and I freak out. So I would stay and be all super.
It was
nice.
a different time.
There wasn't always being.
I'm scared of always being accused of something crazy like that.
Well, it happens. I
hate
mean, it was a different time though. I was like,
You could do that and get away with it.
No, I didn't do that, but I was like,
God damn it, Seth.
I was like, can't your kid tuck himself in? I'm sucking titties here.
So what is the what's the date now? The girl in their early 20s, like, do you do
Not
the
early
traditional?
20s. Now it's 25 to 28 is my range.
Okay.
A few 19, 20-year-olds. Just a couple.
All right. So, but
not by me though. They were coming after me.
Oh, okay.
I swear to God. I swear to God.
Yeah, Mike's Hard Lemonade.
I swear to God.
When I leave here, they're gonna attack me. I'm like,
I live with a 19-year-old.
Why don't you have a seat? Why don't you have a seat over there on the stool? No. Actually, have a seat. We'll talk about that. We'll get there. The police may be here. Let's go ahead. Why don't you just go ahead and have a seat? Let's chat for a second. Your online name is Street Fighter Saget 69 Monkey Man at AOL.com.
Then they start reading the transcripts. It's never good. You're like, oh shit.
I'm gonna read here. Do you typically say to women that are underage, "I have my finger in your butt so I can feel my own penis"?
Yeah. Why would you write that? By the way, all
go ahead. Sit down. Why don't you put your protein shake down for a second? Let's talk about this. I think you dropped your supplements on the floor. Hydroxycuts and some.
Is that a
but the old ones with the good shit in them
stuff
that make me puke in a Bally's trash
that's
can.
That's the Adderall. It made me skinny right now.
Good.
It works.
That's
it
what
fucking
it was,
works.
Yeah.
Let's do another email.
Is it email or voicemail?
Oh, I don't know. Is it voicemail?
I think it's an email, actually.
Yeah, I think it's email.
I know it sucks to spend all that money on to update the app, but it looks awesome on my iPhone XS Max. Thank you guys for always doing so much for the listeners and putting the funniest content on.
Can you read?
Yeah.
He's more of a news guy than reading the email.
I'm glad that you guys like it. There are already some little issues we're trying to correct.
Believe me, if it's up to Tom Van, he would never spent the money to do it. Mad about
this
it.
This is a stinger.
But it was required by Apple to now make So now on the iPhone X, our app is full screen and compatible with that. They get you. Ooh,
really?
Yeah, we're making some more changes to that, to the Android app. So if you have an iOS device, go ahead and hit that update button, and then give me your feedback. show@tomadan.com.
Let's do one more voicemail and then take a break.
All right, here we go.
Yo, this is Neil, BDM. For a long time, I was just listening to the live show Friday. I'm home with my girls. I'm cleaning and shit like that. And this will be played on the Friday Free Show, obviously. I'm cursing. But super stoned, and I remember you mentioned QVC, Daniel, during the show, and I saw a story. I don't know if you saw it. Jamie Foxx on QVC. He was trying to sell affordable sunglasses. So they're stepping up their game, getting an A-list celebrity, Jamie Foxx, up on there. What do you guys think? Have a great day, guys.
Believe it or not, I purchased a pair of the Jamie Foxx sunglasses.
I remember when this is a while ago, right?
Yeah.
He came out with a whole line.
They're actually pretty affordable. I like them. They're good quality. They're polarized, and they're nice sunglasses.
I wonder,
they're like $35. You know, they're not like super cheap, but they're not super expensive.
Do you think that's something where a family member or a close friend or something got him into, like, convinced them, like, hey, let's do this line of sunglasses. I got this connection in China. We can get them. Actually, isn't one company basically make all sunglasses in the world? Like for Oakley. Yeah. It's like they make all sunglasses and they just stamp the brand on every company's sunglasses. But it's probably a deal like that.
Revo.
And then
Revo. I think I'm saying that right. I think that's the company.
Because Jamie Foxx is not wasting his time, or is he? Like he's coming up with this idea because all these celebrities have brand, like they have publicists and like brand managers, and their celebrity is technically a business, and their brand, their name is a brand, so you could lend your name to any product, and then endorse it and sell a shit ton.
See, there's like Paris Hilton.
Those look kind of cool.
Yeah, it's Paris Hilton. There's Jamie Foxx.
I wouldn't buy it for $35 though.
$35 not that
expensive. Oh no, actually, $29.95.
I would never spend
less. So Jeremy Piven is in this company as well.
Oh, you're talking you would spend more.
Yeah, I don't want to spend $30.
So there's like Jamie Foxx, there's Jeremy Piven. These are the ones I got right here. The Blake. There they are. They're big.
How much are those, Daniel?
$29.
Yeah, that's
so they're not bad. And then I got 20% off of that, so it ended up being less than that. And with they threw in free shipping. I think I spent like maybe $25.
I mean, it's not a bad idea because I always lose like my $200, $300 sunglasses are always gone at the beach. I lose them in the ocean all the time.
That's what everybody talks about. And like I love Costa sunglasses, but the fact that we always pay all of them, but the fact that they're $200 makes me nervous to even wear them because I'm like, God, they're too expensive. And then I tend to get my cheap ones, and then I'm just wearing cheap sunglasses. I'm leaving my Costa glass.
Then you're not even wearing them.
Yeah. Then I'm like, what am I doing here? Then I wear them and lose them. Like the expensive ones, and then I'm mad that there are $200 sunglasses out the window. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk to Seth about his business deal with me because he wants to be our new news person.
Yeah,
and he wants to negotiate
he's gonna do
his
news
salary.
when we come back.
Yeah, and he wants to get paid the same as Busdecker, and we'll talk about that.
I'm honestly twice the man as Busdecker. So.
Instead of get on the bus, it's get in my butt.
Change.
Yeah, get in my butt, get in my butt, and then you can go, hey,
the same thing.
Nerds.
Someone adds that.
Boys and bullying.
Hey, narps.
Narps.
What's up, you narps?
Hey, narps. New music from The Frights. They have a live album out live at the Observatory. The name of the song is Tons. We'll be back with more on Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. 1-844-TOMNDAN or show@tomandan.com for emails. There you go, buddy.
That's Fat Mike for the new Cokie the Clown album.
Yeah, Cokie the Clown is out now. The name of the album is You're Welcome, and it's a hard listen.
Yeah. You said his first song's about his wife ODing in the bathtub.
Yeah, I think it's called Bathtub. It's like,
I follow him on Instagram, and they're like, he's dressed in the Cokie the Clown makeup, and his nose is bleeding.
Yeah.
Like, did he get punched or he?
I think he got punched or like maybe hit it on stage somehow or something, and Yeah, he's just he's an interesting guy. You know, the album I listened to every single song on it, and then I said, okay, I can shelve that one.
Yeah, okay.
It's it's good to go. I visited it, and I don't have to go back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rough listen.
I like the Fuck You All. That's kind of cool.
Well, he got like Travis Barker to play drums on it. He had Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses playing all the piano parts. I mean, he called in some heavy hitters as far as rock and roll goes to play on the album. But it's just, I'm not going to say it's bad. It's not bad, but it's very dark.
No matter what, if you're an artist and you keep, you keep coming out with content, no matter what, you're gonna have some not well received ones.
Well, I think this is like the quote, and I had it here. I threw it away, but the press release, he says, like, I peeled my skin off for this record. Like, just talking about how hard he worked on it. And you can tell, you can tell that he really tried to write really good songs. And they are really good songs. It's just not the type of thing I'm going to listen to with my coffee on the way into work.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like dark music.
Yeah, you might like it.
I might be into that.
Yeah, it's good. I'll give it to you if you want it.
Depressive music makes me feel better about stuff.
Oh,
weird.
Okay. No, I think a lot of
really
people
does.
do that when they're really sad. You know, some people put on sad songs and
you wallow in it.
Yeah, you wallow in it.
At least you're
bit.
feeling something though, instead of like apathy.
I can remember doing that. I can remember.
Serial killer?
Yeah. I can remember like listening to certain music and feeling bad and putting like deliberate sad music on to just, and then I would start crying, and then because I'm so sad, and then I would go and I'd look in the mirror. And then I would try to make myself look as sad as humanly possible, as if somebody were videoing me and I were having to act very sad.
What?
Yeah.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam. I don't know why that's good.
And then I can remember. I can remember listening to certain records or certain CDs with a girl that I liked, and I was listening to it, and after every song, it would like go to silence, and then before it goes into the next song, and I kept wanting her to like make the first move, not me make the first move.
No.
And I was kind of hoping like, okay, at the end of this song, I hope she starts grabbing for my dick. and she did, and then we got to the end, and then I put it. I was like, well, let's do it again because I'm like, I'm giving you another shot here. You're not picking up the.
You gotta put their hand
not picking up what I'm throwing down here.
You got to put their hand on your dick. That's
No, never do that.
If you're in bed with them already, that's the move.
No, we weren't in bed. We weren't in bed.
I don't think
yeah, if you're not in bed, then
you're at the iPhone store.
I like how Grandpa called it the iPhone store.
God damn it. Let's do some.
You're at the Prime Coast store, reloading the minutes on your phone.
Let's see what this. Okay, maybe we should talk about Seth's news before this. So, Daniel brokered this deal. I
did.
I had to leave early.
Well, I hope you told him the full deal.
Anytime
Here we go.
NARPs.
That's the intro.
That's
the intro.
Here we go.
It's just this.
Here we go.
NARPs.
There we go.
I had to leave early on Wednesday or Thursday to go meet my wife at
the
iPhone
store. And you put her hand on your dick.
Apparently, my wife's touring schools that Tommy could possibly go to next year because he's been in kindergarten next year. So I go to. By the way,
you're walking the halls of Harvard.
By the way, I'm walking in elementary school, and the lady's looking there. I'm like, why are we doing this? Like, I could have imagined there's some classes.
Lapita Academy graduates are in the top 90th percentile of all jobs in America.
What are they going to show me that is going to be
We have the
revolutionary?
most advanced crayons and construction paper of any facility in the world.
But I had to not make shitty comments or make jokes about this is a waste of time because I had to pretend like I really cared. I'm like, look at all they put
you
the
guys
art.
Laminate your letters.
You guys put the kids'
Keep
art
the
on the
vomit off
walls.
of them.
Yeah, great.
You have little potties, so they don't need the stools. You got fantastic. Hats off to you for being visionaries.
You have a garden?
That's good. What are you growing there? Nightmares?
So, anyway, I had to leave, and then anytime I leave, Dan
Lee? You can call me Dan Lee like my mom calls me? Every time I leave, Dan Lee gets my pornos out, and then when he puts them back, he doesn't rewind it to the same spot. That's how I know.
He takes initiative and he becomes the boss of the company, and then
I started moving and shaking.
Yeah, you
that's
start
how we
making
got
some
Tom
moves.
and Dan Day.
Yeah. You're right. It is. And so
that's how we met Supergirl Jen.
So Daniel calls me. He's like, "Hey,
I hired, and you had to fire Lee."
Thanks for that awkward moment.
That was bad.
So Daniel calls me and
God
he's
help
like,
if you have to fire me.
if
I get hired.
We'll just lock the door between the show. Don't look at his eyes.
For God's sake, don't show him your butthole. You'll rip the fucking doors off.
I'll spin kick that door down. That's not
so,
Gotta have that butt.
So Daniel, he's like, I brokered a deal with Seth.
Pretend you're my dad and he's trying to beat me when I was a little
And
kid.
since Busdecker's got a full-time job now, and he can't come in on Fridays to do news, and we got a new news person, he's like, I brokered a deal with Seth. Seth's going to do the news.
Yeah, well, he wanted it to be every week, and I was just
I didn't want anything. I just said, is it every week? I wasn't sure.
Well, we do the show. How long have you known us, Seth? We do the same show every Friday at the same time for 10 years.
But I don't know.
I know. You literally, before you came in here, like, which show is this? I'm like, God damn it.
I have to think what your real name is half the time because I'm so used to calling you drunkie still.
Oh, you motherfucker.
That's the worst thing you could tell him.
So,
well done.
Anyway,
well done.
So then Daniel's like, Seth's going to do it, but he demands to get paid the same as Busdecker, or he's said every week, and he's got to get paid the same. And then I'm like, whoa. Busdecker was an accomplished journalist. He worked for the newspaper, worked for the news.
Yeah.
Like, he still does, social media videos all the time. He's
I do social
investigating
media
stuff
all the time.
You
know how many interviews I've had happen to me?
Seth, it's all black and white pictures of you in your closet showing your fucking pube mound is raw rock hard. You're like pulling down your pants, and then you give an inspirational quote.
Remember, if you get out of bed, you eliminate 90% of the competition. Hang in there.
You own a gym. All you do is work out every day. You're not. We can't do this shit. The same thing. You're for sure doing HGH.
Everyone has 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours at night.
Oh my God. I do not. That's absolutely what I know now.
You're for sure doing hormone replacement.
I'm not doing anything. I swear.
I know.
Don't you dare call me out on that. I swear to God. I'll take a lie detector. I swear to God. Nothing. I'm too much of a hypochondriac.
Bring in the lie detector. He comes in. So anyway,
you should jump up and down like R. Kelly.
I questioned paying you the same. Listen, I didn't.
I'm a bigger. First of all, I don't give a crap what he has degree wise and journalistic wise. If you say my name, to 100 people, you say his name to 100 people, they're gonna ask who that fucker is. They're gonna know who I am.
Look, when it comes to conversation,
I don't mean to toot my own horn sometimes, but toot.
Listen, my grandfather always used to tell me, he's like guys with cauliflower ears are good at two things, and talking ain't one of them. He never told me what the other two things were.
I commentated professionally for like 5 years on national TV.
One is fighting, and is the other eating ass.
I don't know. You never told me. But so
maybe he was reading the news. And you just fucking didn't know.
Could be being woke.
So I guess we're gonna try it out, and then we'll make the determination.
All right.
You didn't tell me this was a trial.
Okay.
I would have gotten better news.
Get ready to do your.
We made a joke. We're like, what if Seth comes so prepared? Like he's sit down interview with Joe Biden.
I typed all this out.
He did type it out.
I did type it out.
That's more than I can say
for
for
my phone too.
You're in the UK talking to someone about Brexit. Like, oh my God, he's got a lot. But I knew that wasn't the case.
So here we go.
Here we go.
Narps.
There we go. There's our intro.
Are you gonna we'll make us?
I'll make one, but like you said, it's a trial.
All right.
So.
Real quick news today brought to you by MelissaSoroka.com.
There you go.
She's been doing hair and makeup for 14 years, and so they're also offering
family cuts, kids cuts, ladies cuts. She specializes in hair color. So if that's something that you're interested in, changing your hair, to a different color, getting that ombre.
Yeah. All the treatments, everything that everybody's doing now, she does.
Yep.
And she's given 20% off any Tom and Dan listener for the month of May. The whole month of May, 20% off. Go to MelissaSoroka.com.
Plus, you never know what the Danger Brain guys have up their sleeves. You might get
they're coming up with another thing.
Specialty stickers, sometimes specialty magnets.
She stocks White Claw for all her customers, so
Nice.
you can enjoy the White Claw while you're getting your hair cut.
That's pretty awesome.
Or colored or anything like that. So Melissa Soroka, SURROCA.com.
There you go.
All right. Seth, what do we got first?
All right, so before I start, let me ask a question first for this first story. If either one of you were in a coma for more than like 2 or 3 years, do you guys have like a living will? Like you guys want to be done? Like
I need to have one. I do not have one now.
Yeah, I want them to keep me alive as long as possible because
and I want them to pull the plug as quickly as possible.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you might change your mind.
Okay.
After this, because a woman just recently emerges out of a coma after being in it for 30 years. She went to a coma after the car she collided with hit a bus, or that she was in collided with a bus in 1991. She didn't regain consciousness until 2018 in a hospital room in Germany. According to the report, she had just picked up her son when the accident happened. She was sitting in the back seat, and she grabbed her son to protect him, and he walked away from the crash. She was put in a coma for 30 years.
Wow.
The son grew up next to his mom, never gave up on her, sitting by her side, like every day going and praying. And
why'd you make those eyes?
Well, because the end of the story I didn't like. It was this happy story, and then he's like, of course,
God had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, well, he said he thanked God for the whole her coming out of the coma after 30 years. And
this is better than a Bus Decker Pelican story.
Yeah,
just throwing that out there.
So far, one for Seth.
You're giving us something to
Coma better than Pelican.
Yeah, definitely one for Seth. But you're giving us something to chew on here. That does make me change my mind a little bit because
30 freaking that's a lot. After 15 years, I'd be like, okay, they're not waking up, but 30.
I also saw my grandma when she was like supposedly they told me she had a trach. Yeah. My grandmother had choked on something at a McDonald's, and then they got to her like too late, and then a paramedic that was off duty at the time eating. They were like road tripping, and you stop at McDonald's because there's nothing else to stop at. And they had to stick a straw in her
trachea.
in her trachea to get her to be able to breathe. But by that time, she'd lost so much oxygen to her brain that she was brain dead. She stayed in a coma for like my grandma for. Oh my God, man! I want to say like maybe 7 or 8 years, maybe even longer.
Long?
Yeah, it was a long time, but she never, So one of the reasons why, just to give you backstory of me, why I kind of gravitate to like, hey, if I get that way, go ahead and pull it, is because she never really changed. It was very sad seeing my granddad have to that became his focus. Get up in the morning, go visit her, stay by her side.
So he didn't move on,
clean her, and then go home. And there's,
Well,
they're still married. They were still married, and
here's the problem with the story: is that people hear this and they don't realize there's medical science that the doctors can tell whether you have brain activity at all or not. So then, when you go into a coma or you have brain damage, let's say you have lack of oxygen and it killed some of your brain, the doctors will say like this person, like a neurologist will come in, test, and say, this person isn't ever going to come back. Like their body's alive, their heart beats, they could breathe.
Yeah, but all these weird things happen because they came in and they told my mom and my dad, not to bring the show down, but you'll understand what I mean here in a second. They came in, I remember them telling my mom and my dad. My mom and I have since talked about this now that I'm older, and I can understand it. But they came in and said, yeah, she's brain dead. She's never going to like fully get back to normal, but I hadn't seen her yet, and they had no activity. Like she wouldn't move her arms, she couldn't move her eyes or anything. Yeah. Then I walked into the room, and she turned to me and was trying to talk.
Are you just being serious?
I'm being dead serious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. Like I never know because
I know.
Like where?
I mean, we could call my mom and talk about this. It's like really fucked up, but she turned but she turned. Oh. So then everybody had hope. Like now that my mom and I've actually talked about it now, we're kind of like under the impression that as much as we hate to admit it, it might have just been a fluke, like
a fluke,
or a twitch,
like her muscles were just moving,
or she was in some sort of dream state.
Like yeah, I mean, we're not fully willing to admit that she heard my voice and was like, "Oh, that's my grandson." Now I'm gonna suddenly know who he is.
I mean, because this had to be a scenario,
or maybe she did. You know what I mean? Like I don't know,
where the doctors had hope that this person.
It didn't say in the article whether or not there was a brain function. It didn't mention the brain function thing.
Because even if you're in a coma, they can see brain activity. You know what I'm saying? So then they're like, well, maybe this person does wake up, and that's probably why. Because it's like if you're in like a Terry Schiavo situation where they like have proven for a while that this person isn't going to ever come back.
Happening, and my dad
because that's
was
not being
the one to decide to yank.
Because if your brain is your entire everything, just because your heart's beating and you're breathing doesn't mean you're alive. At least that's what I think. It's like once your brain is gone, like you're essentially dead in my book.
Your personality, everything.
Although I do start doubting.
You've not invited me to one house gathering at your house, but other people have gone. You're dead to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a little different.
Yeah. So,
like if you're a friend of mine, I find out that you invited, like if Travis were to have a party and he invited you and Sam, but didn't invite me, he's dead to me.
Oh, speaking of parties, Seth's having a party that we got invited to only because I hooked him up with some.
I invite you out all the time to parties.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
So stop it.
Now, here's the thing. My son
Dad can't do anything.
He's having his 5th birthday party the same day at my house.
A kid's gay birthday party that you can probably see 80 more throughout your life.
A kid's gay birthday party?
Guys, imagine being around a bunch. Well, okay, so I'm not used to it. I guess.
Do you think that Tom's gonna throw a gay party for his 5-year-old son?
No, but it's just lame. It's all lame.
So now,
lame is the right adjective.
I have 4 dancers, strippers coming.
Is that part of the thing? Like, what's going on in your
party? They're gonna smear tacos all over their tits.
I can ask my wife. I'm like, listen, like, this
just
this whole
skip
thing's
the
up-
birthday party.
That's what I'm saying. If I talk, let me talk to.
Can I bring my daughter?
I'll talk to her.
What if I did Tommy's birthday party at Seth's
Yes.
I'll get him a lap dance.
Make him a man.
Make him a man. Hell yeah.
Next thing you know, your son's like, I saw her butt.
Nicky butt.
Naked butt.
'Cause it's okay when it's a younger boy, not a girl. It's fine.
the fuck is wrong with you, my God?
Well, you know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? It's a double standard. Like, it's okay when the young student kid is a boy and the older teacher
First,
woman.
I tried to make this argument. Apparently, it's not okay.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not okay, but it's
okay. This is Seth.
in the locker rooms, guys are giving them high fives.
It's all just locker room talk.
Seth Petrocelli, newsman. So, what's going on? How many people is going to be at your Cinco de Mayo party?
Approximately 50. I got.
And it's a pool party?
Well, my pool's there, so you can go into my pool.
Okay, well, no.
It's not technically a pool party, but yeah, I told people to bring their bathing suits. So
I saw that in the in the thing.
The hot tub.
So when does it start?
The sex in the hot tub, huh?
When does it start?
Noon till 5.
Noon to 5. Okay.
Noon to 5. Yep.
So,
and I got we're gonna do Gringos. Is gonna be catering.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Gringos Locos.
I got a DJ there, and I got a bartender there.
All right.
So we'll have a
Fancy.
full shebang.
How about a lifeguard?
Lifeguard? No, everybody has to look out for themselves.
Tom's got a lifeguard.
There's a notice posted that says there's no lifeguard on duty, and you are being filmed 24/7.
Oh,
how many
even the strippers?
Huh?
Do they know the strippers are going to be filmed?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there'll be notice posted, so
they better read it. Behind the refrigerator.
It looks like a Florida terrorist hunter permit.
So what is there going to be a bunch of guys from a gym there?
Well, okay, so we have
fit.
Yeah, we have not everybody, but night before May the 4th, we have 5-6 guys fighting on a combat night card here in Orlando.
Oh, cool.
So it's kind of like what sprung it was I wanted a celebration party for them all fighting the night before, so I invited, of course, all the fighters to the party the next day. But it's also my regular friends and other.
A lot
people.
of testosterone in the air.
Some narps.
It'd be good for your. It'd be good for your boys to see that. A couple guys, pushing each other, knocking tacos, slapping each other's plates, and bullying each other.
No, they're not. We're not all.
They're stabbing themselves with testosterone in the
bathroom. Making gains, bro.
They're not all like. No, come on, not all.
And then
most of them are.
So
what? Fucking got your nose. Let's fight.
Yeah, and so
they're fighting.
Are there any activity? Like I haven't been to a house party in a while.
Oh well, yeah, we have we beer pong. We have a cool light up beer pong
so you're
table.
still living in your.
I don't play it. I just for them.
Boy days.
Yeah, what we do, we get
all the younger fighters are 20 years old. I give it for that. I don't play. I watch.
Yeah. Is this
you're
the
the guy on live PD that comes out. They're like, "Who owns this house?" And you're like, "It's me."
Yeah.
There's a lot of underage drinking here. And look. I'm not going to go through and card everybody, but I'm going to give you 10 minutes and I want everybody out of here. And you know better than this.
There's a bunch of teens running for your party.
Just my niece's friends will probably.
Okay.
They're not going to be drinking, though.
I'm sure they will.
Maybe some Coke.
Maybe some Coke.
Maybe some Coke. Coke can. Coke in a can.
They're not going to be drinking. They're just teens doing cocaine.
All right. Next story.
It's been a fantasy.
Next story.
Off my heart on. Okay. Not that you guys. Another question. Not that you guys could ever afford one, but would you guys ever drive a Tesla?
Yeah,
Daniel wants to get one.
Oh, you want one?
Yeah.
Well, again, you might change your mind after
I'm
this
on I'm on a waiting list right now for the
Are you
Series
really?
3. Yeah.
Okay. Unless you need motors, you need engine, you need gas.
That's proven false.
Yeah,
I don't need any.
I do. I like
an
the sound of
electric
it.
motor's faster. That Tesla's faster than your Hellcat.
My neighbor has one, and he comes up to me. They gave him one as a loaner because that's
A
like a new
Hellcat?
thing now. No, they gave him a Tesla as a
Oh,
loaner.
Tesla, yeah.
He's getting a Beamer, but they gave him a Tesla as a loaner because he requested it because they're doing whatever they can to get the sale.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, they gave me the top of the line one. He's like, this thing goes 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds.
Yeah. It's got a faster 0 to 60 speed than your.
But it sounds like a freaking vibrator.
It doesn't sound like nothing.
It's
exactly
literally
the
sound.
I like the sound. I like
it sounds like a nightmare.
I like loud engines and beer pong.
No, it's just stimulation to like
punch my head. I'm sorry.
I don't like getting headshots anymore. It's a sensitive subject.
So what's going on?
So a Tesla in China, a Tesla burst into flames for no apparent reason, and it caught on fire at a camera in a Chinese parking lot. It's not
Chinese fire drill.
Chinese fire
burst into flames.
It's not actually the first
Where's that
Tesla that caught on fire recently. Earlier in the year, a man died after crashing his Tesla into a tree, and it caught fire.
Yeah,
for no
this has been
reason.
happening. I would imagine that anything with a huge amount of batteries. I mean, you not to bring it up. I know this makes you very sad, but didn't your one wheel start smoking and?
Oh yeah, it's going through some fire.
But it's got a big battery. Is my point. When you got that much power. You know, and all those wires. I mean, of course, the likelihood of something happening is high.
Gasoline is more dangerous.
But cars catch on fire all the time. I've seen in my lifetime. I've seen 3 cars at the side of the road engulfed. In
but not
flames.
for after they get in an accident. Yes, but this one literally sat there.
They just pulled over, like it overheated and it just burst into flames.
Yes, usually because
that's because it's old.
It sets the grass on fire, and then that happens a lot. Like people pull off the road onto like the shoulder, and then the grass is like dehydrated.
All that dry Bermuda grass that we had.
Yeah, and then it starts a fire underneath. That's how old Brett Bushy's old plane burned down, and the emergency landed in a field,
really?
and then the heat from the engine set the grass on fire, burned the whole plane down. But
why don't they just roll the plane off, like take off, push the plane?
Get it going,
go,
get it in the air.
Fucking thrusters.
So, but here's the thing: it's like that. Do we even know? Because remember that time that they wanted to do a recall on like. It was a Toyota or something that the person claimed that the gas pedal got stuck on full speed. And then they were like, that's what they told the cops or the investigators or something, or why they crashed is like the pedal like stuck. And then there was this whole investigation of like, is this, they're going to be a huge recall on these cars. And then they found out that the guy was lying or like it was
flip-flop got stuck on there.
Yeah.
That fucking happens sometimes. I hate that.
The Tesla burns down.
Flip-flop gets stuck.
No.
The tip gets stuck under and pulls it up and like keep pushing and pulling. You're like,
no, I've never.
Or you have trash roll underneath your brake. Then you
like a Gatorade bottle. Or my piss bottle that I use all the time.
Oh God,
my God!
You don't have a piss bottle?
I've never. No, I have no piss bottle.
I make sure I have. Nutrex is my sponsor. Thank you, Nutrex.
I have nothing.
I have a Nutrex bottle, one old Nutrex bottle that I use for.
Why would you thank your sponsor for that?
Because they supplied.
You thank your sponsor for your piss bottle.
Because I use it for my shakers, and then the ones that I don't use, I use for my pee.
I'd like to thank Red Cypress for I cut the top of the aluminum cans. I shit in them. I'd like to thank them for giving me my pocket shit cans.
I shit in many of bottles.
Well, yeah. At least once a week, I shit in an old Devil's Chair IPA can.
The uncle I was telling you about that we got in an argument with on Facebook, we used to work for my grandfather's construction company together, and my thing literally, every other day, Gatorade we used to drink, I used to go in the porta-potties, take a huge dump inside of it, and it wasn't easy getting inside the little hole. Coming up, screwing it, and then putting it in his car.
No wonder he's mad at you.
I used to do that.
Why would you shit in a Gator bottle, put it in uncle's car?
Just to fuck with him.
So this has been going on. This isn't just like he said something liberal and then you're like, I'm a moderate and I'm going to go in on him. You've been bullying him his entire life.
No, but it was more for fun. He lauged, I think. He get mad sometimes. But
it was like the time Brent O'Quinn, my buddy Brent O'Quinn, I put a pelican in the back of his Jeep.
Do you know what
underneath his dead pelican.
Do you know what
we found a big fat dead pelican. I stuck it under his mat.
That's awesome.
And he didn't fight it for weeks. I remember he came to the bedroom. He's like, my car stinks and I can't figure out why. And I was like, oh, God, it had been in there for weeks.
It's funny.
Then when he finally found it, it was just bones and maggots.
I took a dump in a grapefruit. I ate a big grapefruit and I had the rind. So do you know what?
You shit in a grapefruit?
Yes, listen how I presented it. So you know what culvert pipe is? Big cement culvert pipe. It's what the water drains through. So I was in charge of putting a pipe through it to lift it up out of the truck, and it goes to my uncle who's like 100 feet away, and he grabs it and takes it down. It goes right here in front of his face. He has to guide it. So I was in the bed of the truck, so no one could see me. I'm in a dump truck. I fucking take a huge dump in the grapefruit rind, and I set it right on the edge of the ledge of the culvert pipe. Stuck the pipe through, so it raised up to the air. I peeked my head over top of the dump truck, watching my uncle bringing it down. It came right down in front of his face. He goes, "Ah!" He fucking throws it to the side, which you can't throw it to the side because it's 1,000 pounds. So it ends up pushing and falling over. Just smelling it. Oh, it was really.
Every time you come in, you top yourself.
Yeah. How many
really
different things have you shit?
So the porta johns I used to wreck a lot. Like the
I don't think I could shit in a
pee
Gatorade bottle.
It's Sobe bottles I did a lot too. Sobe was big.
I remember Sobe. The gecko guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I shit all over that.
Hard to line up.
Yeah.
I feel like more
like
it got messy sometimes.
Yeah, how many times did you poop on your hand?
Quite a bit.
He says. There's no way.
Water in the porta potty.
And had
I was
Miller
like construction. There's hoses everywhere.
And had Miller Lite or Coors not made the wide mouth can, I don't think I'd ever have a chance. If we were standard old school soda tops, because even this is a wide.
No, it'd be impossible.
That's a wide.
Yeah.
Remember when they were little?
Yeah.
Everything is bigger now. Like humans are bigger. We're all fatter. Like even remember when that was like half the size of that?
Yeah. You need colon cancer to get pencil thin.
Oh
shit.
yeah, that's the only thing you're good at when you have colon cancer. It's like,
well, I can shit in a can.
I got that as for my hemorrhoids though. And I went and got it checked out to make sure I didn't have colon.
You got hemorrhoids?
Yeah, we talked about that many times.
Yeah, I get a bad one.
Shitting and everything.
Yeah,
maybe it is.
It's pressing so hard to try to get it out.
It's from all the
because I got to go fast because there's people around. So I'm like, oh,
you're in a work truck.
Yeah,
you're pushing.
My favorite was doing
into
the part that you have to, you pee in the porta johns, the nasty plastic things that you pee in.
That's a new thing too.
Oh,
not to sound like the old guy, but
Really?
it used to be
That's new?
just piss in the hole and shit in the hole. Having the urinal.
Yeah.
The first time I saw that, I was like, this is fucking witchcraft.
I mean, I worked for my grandpa back in like 98, 99. They had it back then.
Yeah, I
never
never
used
did.
to take huge dumps in those, and then
bodies.
go sit in the truck and just watch people go in there and just get pissed because it's just huge shit.
The number one thing, the only thing that I
It was
ever
so
did,
much fun. It was like my highlight
the
of
only
my
thing I
day.
used to
Goddamn
love
animal.
doing, and I did it to Tuttle.
Michael does the same thing. You're a fucking animal. What's the matter with
I
you?
did this to Tuttle one time, and I don't know if he remembers. He probably does, but I knew he had to shit really bad. And I said, well, let me use the porta john first because I got to piss, and it'll be quick. And I went in there, and then I pissed all over the toilet paper on the chain so he wouldn't be able to wipe. That's a very introductory porta john.
Oh, it's good though. It's
But
classic.
it's a classic.
It's classic.
You see it on the chain,
I realized,
and you just piss it
classic.
wet as yellow.
You can't
I
use it.
fucking vitamin C that shit.
you guys are the animals that cause normal people that want to just use the porta john.
No.
to have the worst experience of their lives.
My daughter loves porta johns.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not a
You gotta
good thing.
Get her out of that phase right now.
Don't say that.
And it's weird because he wants to always go in and play in them, and I'm like, don't put your swimsuit on.
All right, next story.
Speaking, it's funny we're talking about poop. I hate to go back into it, but
Here we go.
Here we go.
Much like
I got
much.
it. Here we go.
Oh, wait.
Here we go.
Much like my ex-wife when she discovered that I ate onions after I shit in the shower. Archaeologists discovered that 1,500 years ago, someone ate an entire venomous snake. The entire thing. They think it was a western diamondback or a copperhead snake. After analyzing the poop of the ancient risk taker, they aren't sure if it was for a ritual that they did or it was just an ancient dare gone wrong. Which I thought was very funny. They don't know why
that's
they
an
would've done
ancient
it.
jackass.
Yeah.
Seriously, what if it was? Because you know that shit's not new. The feeling of doing that, the excitement on the one end, the excitement of your friends watching it, you know that's not new.
I'm gonna
Cave
eat
people,
this steak.
like the first guy that had
Hold my
fire,
rock, I'm
probably
gonna eat the stick.
The first guy that had like fire on a stick, he's like setting his hair on fire. People, everyone's laughing.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like, oh,
Yeah.
You know that's.
But
all.
it went too far. Like then they just leave them and they burn alive and they're still laughing.
Then they eat him.
Yeah.
They're probably shitting in grapefruit rinds back then.
Now
too.
you could eat a
weren't
venomous
animals.
snake as long as you eat not the head because
Yeah,
that's
but
where the venom.
they said they found the fangs, the head, everything, like the tail, everything. They also
How do they know
said-
it was in the poop of this like how do they know? They always say like, oh, we found this in the person's stool, and I'm like, how 1,500 years ago? How do you even know?
It petrified. What do you mean?
Yeah, well, like, is it in some sort of pot that they was, and then they were like, oh, this must have been digested.
Oh, I did. I didn't write it down, but they did read that there was an ancient, did not call it a latrine, but it was like an ancient
doodle hole.
It was like a doodle. They found tons of it in one area, so I guess it was the area they went.
You wouldn't shit out the snake hole though.
No, but there's pieces.
No, but
of
they
it.
found
But
all
they
the
found all the pieces to the full
pieces.
thing.
Or they just threw the snake in the doodle hole. Like, oh shit! I
right?
poisoned the snake.
Poison
Throw it
snake,
in
throw it in the doodle hole. Yeah.
But they also said the person appeared to eat an entire small rodent without skinning or cooking it.
Maybe that rodent was inside the snake.
I thought that too, but then it would have been digested differently with different enzymes.
Although,
I
like
don't know.
1,500 years ago, you would probably
Science isn't wrong. Come on, you're a science believer.
I know
They
yeah,
did
yeah,
this with science.
Yeah.
That's all you have to
I
do.
know. Archaeologists, they know whether or
They
not
found it in a shit mound. I mean, it could have just been petrified in shit.
I think they know, like Seth saying,
Or
they
maybe
pro-
the snake died in the shit mount, and then
the mouse
somebody
tried to
like
eat it.
Seth said, "I'm gonna shit on that snake."
Yeah.
And he shit on the snake.
I find it more probable that they just ate the snake. Why not? They're old, crazy.
Yeah, people
cave
eat snake all the time, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like a thing.
And like they may not known. I mean, who knows? The guy could have died. Like after. You think he would have probably died with it in his stomach, though? He wouldn't have gone through. You know?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there are times when I eat something bad where I shit. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna die, and I shit first, and then I go to my bed and almost die.
Like
You usually
1,500
feel better after you shit, though.
Yeah.
years ago.
Sometimes.
There apparently there's I heard on Rogan. There's some like archaeologist that's claiming that there are older, like I guess it's been a long time theory that they've only found people or remains of people, like archaeologists, around I think it was like 500 plus years or whatever the standard was, and then they're like nobody was before that. And so this guy's saying that there was people before that date way longer, and that there were ancient people living in the Americas way before that, like modern archaeologists are saying they do. There's people that lived 100,000 years ago plus or whatever it is. Like people have been around for a long time, and it's the whole modern civilization is pretty current in the whole timeline. You know,
It's like like they did like a calendar of like everything. It was like just barely.
Yeah,
speck
I mean,
in the corner.
even humans in their speck in
humans
the
are speck.
life of the
In the grand
Earth.
scheme of eons, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's insane that our version of time is really skewed, and it just depends on our own small lives. Like they will never like this will be. Does that ever freak you?
You're
guys
making
out?
me not want to do the show. And I'll tell you what, when you start doing, when he starts breaking this down, he's like,
basically nothing you do matters.
And I'm like, well, then why the fuck am I here?
It's so true though, but it really is true. Nothing
Nothing matters. I've been
Right.
kind of adopting that a little bit with my anxiety. And I know that you and I share like higher levels of anxiety. And lately, and maybe it's just because I've increased my exercise by like 300%. Even my watch tells me that, which makes me feel like a fucking piece of shit. Because my watch is like, like I'll just walk more. My watch like, congratulations, you've moved 400% more. I'm like, fucking A, I was bad.
I only took 4 steps today.
Yeah, I know.
The fuck?
I know. I'll tell you something. I texted Tom, and it was a real high thought, but it was a real thought. I wasn't making a joke. I was waiting for my wife to get out of the shower. We're going to watch like wrestling or something that we watch together. And I just flicking through the shows. It gets on My 600-Pound Life. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, yeah, I've seen that couple times.
Yeah, it's so depressing and sad. But it was My 600-Pound Life. And right when I came on there, they were ending one episode, going to the next episode, and they played like the trailer for the new episode, and they're like, Steven's daughters have never seen him stand. Find out if he does on the next episode of My 600-Pound Life. And I was so high that my first thought was, well, I fucking stand 6 to 7, maybe even 8 times a day. I'm a way better dad than that fucking piece of shit. That was my first thought. And I wasn't trying to be funny at all. And then I sent it to you guys. Then I watched just enough of it for it to be sad, and I had to turn it.
How is it sad? That's just disgusting. I'm not sad. I'm
it
mad.
wasn't
I get
disgusting at all.
mad.
It was sad.
I get mad.
So, I mean, a lot of times they're dealing with like
This guy was
mental illness.
No, this guy was car accident.
Yeah.
So he was all fucked up.
I mean, there's people that have a mental illness that are depression and stuff, and it leads down this road, and then they get to this point.
So
it's sad.
cry and get over it and stop eating fucking cupcakes.
They need help.
Seriously.
I
need help. That doesn't mean I'm going to eat myself to death.
I mean, it's just they
It's
always
the escape. It's like drugs or alcohol or anything that you rely on to numb the pain.
What's sad is the enabler. They always have an enabler,
Yeah.
And it's a family member and stuff. And those people are like, there's a certain mental illness there with enabling someone like that. I cook them like 18 pancakes and the sausage every morning. You're like, oh my god, man! Like you are doing this to this person. You know it's not good for you.
That's a lot of work too. 18 pancakes. Fucking hey, man. I make my daughter pancakes. Those Kodiak cakes because she likes those. They're
spongy.
Yeah, they're
I don't
real.
know, I never had
They're
them. They sound like good though.
Yeah, they're good. But like
the enabler to a morbidly
no,
obese
but I'm
person
just saying
is
they're so thick. Like even one pancake for like a very super active, almost 4-year-old is too much. You know, and I make 2 of those, and I'm exhausted from the mixing and everything. Like, you make like I make them 2 dozen eggs. A pound of bacon. I'm like, fuck it.
How long does it take you? It's so amazingly long. Like, how big is your stove? Like, these people, and they're never rich. They're always poor.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what? Like, how are you cooking all this food? It's amazing. You got on the last.
I've experienced a lot. No, I was just wanting to argue with people on the chat.
No,
I've experienced lots of loss and tragedy in my life. I'm mentally strong and get over it.
Oh, okay. You're endearing yourself to our audience. You know, this is
one person doesn't matter.
It's more than one. It's
Here we go.
Wait, do I say notes at the end of that?
Bussecker stayed away from calling everybody pieces of shit.
Yeah, I never said I was a piece of
shit. You know, he.
All right, listen up, fattos. Here's your news.
You're doing it yourself. You disgust me. That's good.
Stop being lazy and look it up
Here's
yourself.
some news for hippos. I never fuck any of you.
Here we go.
All right, last story. Here we go.
It's mean. All right, last story. Okay, so no question with this one. This is just sad, actually. A 7-year-old woman dies after falling 200 feet from the Grand Canyon edge.
I saw 4 people have died within a month.
Yeah, you want to read the fucking news?
Fucking dodo.
Whoa, Bus would never say that to you. And you'd never cower like you are.
But I know. I was seeing what he said.
Nerd's ass.
I was seeing what he said back. He almost said something and turned his head. It was a typical beta move. It was nice. I like it.
Listen, I'll get you one at a time. Slow roll.
Okay, so yes, you're right. Early in the month, a 67-year-old man also fell over the canyon and died. But like you said, this is actually the 5th death inside that park this year. And it's not the only park death. A teenager fell to his death in Yosemite National Park. Well, it's not funny.
Why are you laughing then?
Because the next.
Why'd you laugh and then proclaim it's not funny? Obviously, it was you.
Because the next part, he's attempting to take a daredevil pick on people. Is that like a Spider-Man pick? Like he's trying to do like a superhero pick off the edge and like fell or something?
No, I think they mean
what
like
is a daredevil
like
you know,
leaning over the edge or something.
Yeah, you ever seen those guys? You ever seen
like an actual daredevil?
That's real big in Russia. What you're talking about?
Or China, they'll climb a crane on top of a skyscraper, then hang off with one hand. It gives me like straight vertigo. When I look at it, I'm like, oh my
I get
god,
vertigo from that bad. Yeah, so that's not as funny. If he was trying to take like a comic book thing, like being Spider-Man and then fell.
Well, if he was being Daredevil, he'd just close his eyes.
Yeah, he'd be blind.
Like a photo holding a tiny white stick.
So the 70-year-old lady just fell off a cliff, right?
She said she just fell. She said they're not sure what it was from exactly, but she might have been leaning over to take some sort of picture and just lost her balance. And
so is this now? Because you know when don't do the cartoon wolf falling off.
Oh no, it's Goofy. When
Goofy.
It's Goofy.
Yeah. So like. Is this a case of we just don't like? Because this happens with earthquakes. Like an earthquake makes news, and then all of a sudden there's like 5 other earthquakes like after it that makes news because the earthquakes are hot right now. Yeah. Then you're like, are we fucking? Is the apocalypse coming? Yeah. Like, why are there so many earthquakes?
But they said that the park experts say that the answer kind of that is like it seems like a lot, but the normal is average is 17 deaths a year in the parks.
Oh, really?
17.
So there's been 5.
That's like a lot.
Not even to mention the number of people that go missing in these state parks. You know, that's like a thing.
But 17, that just seems abnormal. For like more than once. Like, that's just crazy to me that many people die.
I think we should all stop going to state parks.
Yes,
you know what it is?
Leave the parks
and stop taking photos.
Dude, this phenomenon happened to me with the scuba diving, and I think it's because people get a false sense of like safety, right?
Yeah.
Because they're so used to being coddled and like everywhere they go. Like you go to Disney World, everything is not sharp enough to poke yourself, or like there's
except for the alligators.
There's yellow.
Oh God!
Why'd you say that? You're worse than Seth.
Oh my God, you guys are teaming up.
I was reading.
We're on a fucking morning show over here, guys.
I know. Shock Jock Brothers.
Hey, what's up? It's Skinny and Meathead in the morning.
I thought me and Tom were supposed to have our own show.
I backed out of that. Once I saw the comments online, I'm like, I'm not affiliating myself. But people get this false insecurity because in other situations, we're so protected that like you're in your car with 10 airbags, you're going to a theme park where everything has a super big gate on it. Like you can literally just walk looking at your phone, never look around, around and you bump into things. There's foam around it so you don't hit your
So you
head.
don't hurt yourself.
So then you go to a national park, and the national parks are designed to be like, hey, one is as natural as possible. We're not going to protect you from fucking falling into a boiling hot river.
That's the key. So what you're saying is, in the natural world, these freaking people wouldn't survive. So it's.
I think it has to be like people are just walking, looking at their phones and falling off a cliff because
Darwinism at work is what you're saying.
they're used to. Now, here's the thing, but I think it's society making them like this because corporations are terrified of getting sued.
Society, corporations,
Well,
bad evil things.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you live in an environment where every corporation that owns everything is so afraid of getting sued that they make everything idiot proof. You can't hurt yourself. Like every counter has a.
Well, how many people do you think die at Walmart?
Not that many, I bet.
Across
I
the
bet you
United
more than
States.
17 a year.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't think so, dude.
In Walmart?
In Walmart.
Well,
in
is
a
that from like
Walmart,
heart
I bet you-
attacks and
in a Walmart.
But I'm saying by
not-
accidents?
But I'm just saying just die. Because, like, it's possible that the 17 that die in the park, you could have a heart attack while you're taking a photo and fall into the Grand Canyon.
Yes, I read that. It said it was natural causes is included in that number.
Okay, see, like I would say that Walmart would have more deaths inside of it just
True.
based on the amount of Walmarts there are.
But I bet less deaths caused by some accident or like something falling.
Tell
on
that to
someone
Tracy Morgan.
Well, yeah. Well, that's Walmart had to pay out $1 billion for that or whatever it was, hundreds of millions. So that they made sure that, or at
Oh my
least.
God, somebody in our chat room said my mom died in Walmart.
Was that
Call in.
That's sad.
I won an Easter basket when I was like
But these
8. Walmart.
These
I saw an old guy die. The reason I thought of that. Remember that guy playing Cruisin' USA? Remember that Cruisin', yeah, Cruisin' USA. It was a video game, and there was an old man playing it.
Yeah.
And then he died and fell out of the machine, and then they were like trying to resuscitate him and everything. And
heart attacks will get you.
Yeah, he
But
died.
these 5 deaths at the Grand Canyon, they were all from falls,
Falls,
right?
yeah, that was
Yeah.
from,
Like so, that's people either taking a chance or not paying attention
paying
or
attention.
stumbling and falling off. And I think that's because they are so used to being protected all the time
and coddled.
that going back to the scuba diving, one of our friends went scuba diving with us and
in Walmart.
No, and she wasn't looking like she wasn't taking accountability for her own safety because I think she was so trained that I'm in a class, like someone is gonna watch, make sure I don't they're not gonna leave it up to me to make sure I have enough air and stuff, and they were, and that's what you learn to do. So like she was down there having fun, whatever, and then the instructor goes over to her and looks at her air, and it's on red already. Like she was just gonna not look at it and die, or start panicking, just grabbing my regulator. I'm beating her up. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens. You know what I mean?
That'd be fun.
Yeah, that's weird.
But I think it was because the
Pay to
people,
see that.
Can you beat a girl?
people are used to not taking accountability for their own safety.
Yeah.
It has to be that, right? There's not randomly 5 people die.
I fingered random girls when I took my scuba test too.
All right.
There's one last story.
Okay, go for it.
It's about a pelican that was. No, I'm just. I was
Get him. You know what, Seth?
It was just
You did a nice job.
Did I? Okay,
You
thank
did a damn
Thank
fine
you.
job.
I don't
Although
know.
there were
The last story
it
was a Street Fighter story, but it's.
Yeah,
we
let's
don't
talk
talk-
about
no,
it.
we don't. It's not a big
When
deal.
can we see the movie?
Yeah, well, that's what I can't talk about is because they're actually in the process now of getting
recasting.
No, we filmed most of it. We didn't film all of it.
Oh, great!
And they're actually trying to get. They're going between 2 different big outlets to how to release the movie.
Cool.
Is what I can kind of.
I mean, the way I saw it, it looked like a lot of people. I looked under the comments just to, I always troll the comments, and normally when anything is posted on the internet, the first comments are negative. I didn't see any.
Of course, there's going to be haters.
I didn't
There's a few, but
I didn't
in
see
2
many
days,
at all.
In 2 days, we're already almost at like 100,000 views on
awesome.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to ask everyone out there. Just if they can go to YouTube and just search Street Fighter Genesis and just watch the trailer. That helps us out a lot.
Now I did notice in the trailer, and you're playing Saget. A lot of jokes there.
Yeah, I was waiting for
and so in your character, it seemingly dies in the trailer, or you're laying down with a giant cut, and you're
Don't
like,
you know-
ah!
do you not
And
know
I'm
the-
like, he dies. I see
you
it.
don't know the Street Fighter story? Do you not know anything about Street Fighter?
I know.
Ryu gave
I'm a
Saget
nerd.
the scar that's on his chest for all the video games from a famous battle that he had with Ryu.
Okay, so it's the backstory.
Yeah,
of
it's
that.
the backstory
of how he got.
he got the scar and stuff like that.
I thought it just I was like, they ruined it. It showed Seth dying right there.
It's my luck. I would just get killed off in the first whatever.
How was it? Could you see through the iPad patch or was it a real eye patch?
No, it was a real eye patch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was on my good eye, so my shitty eye was all blurry. So I had to do that whole fight choreographing scene, which I did most.
People don't know you have one milky eye. It's
Yeah,
gross.
it's weird.
I actually went to 2 days ago.
Looks like an old globe.
I went to a LASIK place to see if I was a candidate for surgery, and I am. So I'm really debating it.
Yeah, but that just gives you something to worry about because
It is
one
kind of
false move, or that guy's like worried about his son not passing his finals, and he zaps your eye blind.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I worry
Don't
about.
they cut your retina?
No,
out?
that's LASIK.
No.
PRK is something different. It's kind of gross.
WPRK.
Yeah. They actually
You can only do it in Cincinnati.
Instead of slicing it, they grind it down.
Oh, it's worse.
So no, but
They grind your eyeball down so it looks like half a circle.
That'll make them see.
But then, so there's no surgery, not surgery mark, but there's no way in 3 months from now a scar. There's no scar left over because it's like your skin growing back, as opposed to LASIK where there's actual
so
slice.
skin over his eyes.
Snake eyes or something like that. Anyway, that's what I'm opting towards right now.
Do you wear contacts?
No, I wear glasses when I'm in bed at night. And
when you're eating ass, you get glasses on. You
I
look
gotta
like
see
a
the
hairs.
fucking butt-eating librarian.
Seth, butt-eating librarian.
He's the butt librarian.
Put the glasses down on your nose.
Let me see here. Oh, yes.
And then she's young. She's like, you're 19. You're like,
Well,
the
after-
first edition.
I gotta see what size I want to use: medium, large, or
All right.
small.
Well,
Let me
Seth,
punch your library card, Dewey Decimal.
do you have PayPal? Because that's how I used to pay Buster.
Yeah, you got
Sometimes
PayPal?
I forget it. You
Of
remind me
course.
on like
Okay.
Tuesday.
Or Venmo, we'll give you
I have
like,
Venmo, I have PayPal,
okay.
Apple Pay.
you-
I'm all caught up with the latest stuff.
All right, you'll
Yeah, he has
see
to
what
be.
you'll see what it is. I'll send you the money after I leave.
Will you actually back pay me the wrestling money?
I knew that was going to
Yeah,
happen,
yeah,
and I guaranteed that as well. I hope you don't mind.
We repainted your business.
Yeah, but we haven't done our mural.
Have you seen
I
the
know.
nice? Have you seen the nice graffiti that's on it?
Oh, they put graffiti on it
2
already?
balls and a dick.
Oh no!
2 fucking balls and a penis. So instead of having
like one of our listeners,
instead of having a faded kind of cool painting, I got you guys to generously paint over
or was
it.
that Tim Dub? He's like, shit, I forgot to do this. You drew a dick.
Not just a dick, but 2 balls with it.
So it already ruined.
Pointing right at our fucking logo.
God damn it! Well, that's better than what we were gonna do.
I feel
No,
bad.
I still want it.
All the little gorillas are out there running around the thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my sons to that.
I don't want to paint over. It's kind of funny. A little bit.
Anything to plug? Samantha, we miss you. Happy birthday. Check out her podcast. It's called Semantics. Wherever podcasts are found, you can find her show.
Yep, and also remember in July, our the price of our cruise goes up. How about actually, Seth? If you come and do news, I could put that money towards a cabin on the cruise. You can go on the cruise next year.
Yeah.
Bring your glasses, winky wink.
No offense to everyone around the listeners. I don't know if I want to be surrounded by people spitting tobacco in my face. I'm damaged by that last time. Last time I wrestled, 2 people came up to me and had dip, and then it went all over my eyeballs, and I was like, fucking, I had to run away from them. I was scared.
Well, this is make that note on the PayPal. It's horribly insults our audience.
You know what? They like it.
All right. I think we've.
I'm joking. You know what? I would love to go and mingle with them.
So I'll put that towards it. Tony, if you're listening, sign Seth up. I'll put his news money towards the group.
Wait, how much is that going to be? How much
Well,
money?
we'll figure it
How
out.
much does it cost?
And book him in don't book him in the Skull Bandits section.
Yeah. Get him a single person's cabin.
Yeah.
I want to bring
With the private bar.
Yeah. There's no one's gonna go with him. It's so sad.
That's not nice.
Yeah. This is a
Bring
year
your
away.
Russian. Bring the Russian.
As long as Crystal's there, I'm cool.
This is where it gets real.
All right, well, hey, come out and see us tomorrow also at Brew Tap House. We have a watering hole event. We'll be out there from 7 o'clock. I got some gift certificates, some swag. We got new magnets, old magnets, some stickers. We got all kinds of shit.
There you go.
Go to Brew Tap House. Also, the Jungle, Seth's Gym. If you want to
Just look for the big dick and balls.
You know what? How much are your jiu-jitsu classes? Can you train me for free for that?
You're gonna take jujitsu now?
Why would But did you hear? He said, "Would you train me for free?" And that.
I've been hearing.
Why don't you start with like what he's doing now, the dojo with the traditional karate?
Dude, honestly, yeah.
I don't like all the respect involved in that.
Felicia, who's fighting for UFC in 4 weeks, is doing the karate with me upstairs.
But you have to show respect to the jungle even if you walk in there.
You still have to bow on and off the mats. You just have to bow to your sensei.
I didn't have to do that last time I was there.
Well, he was in the fitness part.
Yeah, but this time, if you're going to take it seriously, you're going to show up, and then you're going to all put your hand in the middle. One, two, three, gorilla.
Oh, Team Jungle.
No, I would say go jungle.
Go jungle.
1, 2, 3,
go jungle.
Can I just work out by myself upstairs?
What are you doing up there? You fucking taking weed pills?
Yeah, he's just
staring at the ceiling.
I have a bonsai tree up there. You can clip my bonsai tree.
Hiding from my family. All right.
But you can go to jungleorlando.com. All information on the gym, seriously. And then please follow me on Instagram at SilverbackSeth for those pictures that Tom was talking about earlier. About
there you go.
But motivational quote.
Motivational quote. Yeah. What are you doing?
All right. Tom and Dan Cruise 2020. Book it before July. It goes up after July. So make sure to put your deposit down. It's fully refundable up until December. So just hold the cabin so you hold it at that price. Because if you decide to go later, you're going to have to pay more than everybody else.
There you go, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. BDMs, we love you. We'll talk to you Monday, and we'll see you next week.